I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding of what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing but not facing the facts that as a nation we all done got lax and letting the devil control us. And thinking like them damn Africans, they sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Working hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we was some soldiers, but every second that I look, we getting creamed like Folgers. You see, the Lord done told us.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Welcome to another exciting edition of ISBHPK class. We are back from the Feast of Hanukkah. Hope y'all missed us. But yeah, we had a great feast, man. If you were in Houston and you didn't come participate, I mean, you missed out, unfortunately. But you know, hopefully in the near future you'll start, you know, exercising the scripture, gather together, O nation not desired, and come through, man, and enjoy it. Hopefully, if you celebrated Hanukkah, the feast, I mean, hopefully it went well for you as well. But we're here located in Houston, man. Our school address is 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77071. And we also have a school in San Antonio. And the address for that school in San Antonio is 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78217. And we have a school in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the address for that school is 501 Copper Ave, Northwest Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the zip code is 87102. And we also got a school now in Trinidad, and it's 17 Jacomar Street, Fanny Village, Point 14, Trinidad. Again, the address for the school in Trinidad is 17 Jacamar Street, Fanny Village, Point 14, Trinidad. And for this week's announcements, we have a garment raffle that we're going to be doing to raise money for the Passover, and it'll be ending in I guess you could say a month and a week on January the 31st. Again, the raffle for the Passover will be ending on January the 31st. I got a little flyer here. It says, "Suit up, Israelites! Win a chance to look your best with a custom-made garment prepared specially for you. Israel Wear is hosting a raffle on and off line to give away a tunic and a headband valued at $200. Each raffle ticket is $2. The more you buy, the more chances you get to win this extraordinary giveaway. We have 3 different prizes. The first prize is the brother gets the tunic and a headband. The sister gets a leather fringed bag. Second prize, second place winner gets a armband and a headband. Leather Bible, and the sister gets a leather Bible cover. And the third place prize winner gets a headband. The brother gets a headband and the sister gets a head wrap. So it's starting January the 20th, which is today, and it's going to go all the way, it starts December the 20th, which is today, and it's going to go all the way to January the 31st. And if you have any questions, text 936-524-7680 and 281-730-6378. Or you can email and the email address is sisters, sistersdoz144@gmail.com. Again, the email address is sistersdoz144@gmail.com to get any information, questions, concerns pertaining to the garment raffle money that we're doing now. And again, our class schedules here in Houston is from Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. and from Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. And Shabbat class, Shabbat morning class, is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have kids class every Sunday, and it'll be going from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And also the kids classes, we have tons of kids classes saved on our YouTube channel, and it's on ISBHPK Kids, and it's a lot of pre-recorded kids classes for kids under the age of 12. It's good for the kids to get into it, get a basic understanding of the scriptures, basic understanding of the Bible. And also we'll be having classes in Trinidad. It'll be started from Tuesdays. It'll be from Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. It'll all be from 7 to 10 p.m. Again, we'll have classes starting in Trinidad. We'll be streaming it live through YouTube. And it'll be on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 p.m. from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Excuse me. And we also have classes in Austin, Texas now. And that's still to be announced. But if you have anybody in the Austin, Texas area that'd like to congregate, that'd like to get the word, that'd like to congregate with brothers, sisters, just hit up Kazak. Hit up Kazak, hit up Brother Quatazap on my left. We'll give the numbers out in a second. All you got to do is contact them, and we'll get you in contact with those brothers out there in Austin, Texas. And also, man, we have all of our classes, tons of classes, on all different topics, all different breakdowns, all different everything, man, on ISBHPK, YouTube ISBHPK. I mean, you're already on our channel right now. So, I mean, we have tons of classes, tons of breakdowns that you can check out. And our cable shows will be every Saturday from 8:30 p.m. and it's on Comcast, local channel 17. Or you can stream it live on hmstv.org. And also, we got Mashaba out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Blog Talk Radio. And it's Monday through Friday, and it starts at 9:30 a.m. And you can check them out on Blog Talk Radio, and it's blogtalkradio.com, Mashaba. So blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA. And that's Mashaba. And you can check out classes Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 a.m. What a better way to start your morning. And to reach the teachers, to reach the priests, please text during class. Please only text during class. We got Priest Kazaki. His number is 281-707-2737. And he's not in class right now, so you can actually give him a call. And then to my left here, we have Priest Quatazab. And his number is 303-557-8979. Once again, the brother to my left, Priest Quatazab, his number is 303-557-8979. And please only text him during class. But after class, you're free to give him a call. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can email us at isbhbk@gmail.com. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, you can email us at isbhbk@gmail.com. And for any custom garments made, any beautiful custom garments, headbands, tunics, wristbands, pants, fringed out, whatever, we got our YouTube channel. Our Facebook channel. It's ISRAELITE, where you can contact us, get in contact with us, see how our garments look, and have a garment made. And again, it's ISRAELITE on Facebook. And we're collecting our Passover garment money monthly. That way we can make a bulk order and not buy it little by little, because that costs a lot of dough. So we collect the garment money every month. And we do it monthly so that we be able to have a lot of money so we can make a bulk order. And it won't be as expensive to get these the materials in to make your Passover garment. And the sisters work on our Unity garments all year round. So ask about details. Once again, isbhbk@gmail.com. You can text one of the priests to get any details about the garments if you'd like to get a garment made. And any form of contributions is welcome and needed. Any form of donation, monetary donations, Bibles, pens, highlighters, pencils, books, notebooks, apocryphas, Zondervans, Josephus. Anything. Cars, clothes, computers, cameras, anything, man. Anything is helpful. and it all goes back to your people. It's not being used on ourselves, so it's all being used on our people. And that's the end of the announcements, man. So if you have any questions online, any questions in the class, we're gonna leave that aside. We're gonna set that aside for the first hour of class. Questions.
Listen, we've been off for a week, so I know y'all got questions. So go ahead. Excuse me. Got questions online? Put them through. It's good to be back.
It's great to be back.
Shalom, everybody online. Anybody got questions here?
I just have one. It's simple.
What's that?
I was wondering why, like, they're saying, like, all of us that are gathering together, that why they are not calling it churches rather than schools, because through the scripture, you see, church thousands of times, join to see school, right?
Oh, so you're saying why do we call it a school and not a church? Well, because of the negative connotation that's been put on church. Think about it. Everybody knows church is what?
The body of the people.
No. Everybody knows church as the sing and
Oh,
dance. Right. You see what I'm saying? So if everybody knows church as this place where I go, I give the priest all my money. He gives me a prayer cloth, right? He drives around in the Bentley. I get a good word, and nothing comes of it. I wouldn't want to call us a church. You know what I'm saying? So we say a school because what are the first things you got to do when you come to a school?
You gotta learn.
What do you got to bring?
You gotta bring books, pen, paper.
Right. Now, is that a stipulation in church?
I mean, well, it should be. I know.
Right, it should be, but they don't be like, bring a pen, paper, books. They don't even care if you bring a Bible or not. They barely open it. So we say a school because we want to encourage that mind state of learning and actively writing things, studying. Think about it. Do they tell you to study in church? Hell nah. Barely. They just tell you come get a good word, pay your tithes, and everything else will be taken care of. But we like, listen, write everything down. Go home, study. It's just like school. What you got to do when you're in school? You got to write everything down. Take it home. Why? So you can study. The only thing we don't do is, and we used to do it. We used to give quizzes. Back in the day, I still got some. I don't got them with me, but I still got some of my old like quizzes that brothers used to give. Like, you know, name the four rivers in Garden. You know, just simple things that keep you in the Word and test your knowledge. You know, so we say a school, man, because we want to promote learning. That's the whole thing. A school promotes learning, or it should. So, and that's what we want to do. We want to promote learning. I mean, church. Somebody look up the definition of the word church. Because it's not really. I mean, it's not a bad word to use. We just don't say we have a church because everybody's gonna be like, you go to church? Oh, you went to church? A lot of our people have been destroyed by church. You see that? A lot of our people have been destroyed by that. So we're not gonna be like, oh yeah, come to our church. Nah, we got a school. Because this is what we want you to do. Bring a pen, paper, bring your books, your dictionaries, all these learning instruments you need in the school we want you to bring. Use them, actually. Use them at home, use them in the school. That way you can actually learn. What you got?
Got church. The collective body of Christians. Or of those who profess to believe in Christ.
Yeah, it's like, think about this. It says the collective body of Christians. Are we Christians? In the technical sense of the word, we are, right? But are we Christians? Like the world knows a Christian? Nah. You see that?
Okay.
So when they say, well, because it's like this. It's like, well, you don't believe in a religion, but you're a Christian. See, they don't understand what a real Christian is. You see that? Like, they don't understand what a real church is. This is still a church. This is still a church. The body of Christ gathers, and we learn. We just call it something different just to, it has to be a separation. Yeah. Right? Where's that one that I want? I'm looking for it right now.
It's like even when we pass a flyer out and we tell somebody, hey, come to class. We try to get them to come to class. We always say class, or we got a school. We got a school located here. We always say the school, and we don't say the church, because, I mean, it is a school. It's a learning environment. So, we'll tell them, hey, when you come to class, it's a learning environment. You're going to have your desk. You're going to have your notepad, your pens. You're going to go through the Bible, dictionaries. I mean, I don't remember ever going through a dictionary in church, like in the world. And it's to show, like, the difference. Like you said, it's to show the separation of what the world thinks. Because, I mean, this is how the church should be in the world, where you're actually going through the Bible and you're actually learning, but instead it's like, it's a concert. It's a show. It's not that, I'll say it's not what the Most High would want, because the people isn't learning. The people aren't learning what they should be learning, They don't know anything about the Most High. You going to say something?
Yeah, because the reason I asked was because, like, when you study the scripture, and it's talking about the difference between the men and the women, and how like you're saying, we should be learning, because we say we're supposed to seek the law at the pastor's mouth. So when you come in, that's what will separate us from them. You know what I'm saying? Even if we were calling ourselves the same thing, is because we're upholding the laws of the Most High, commandments and things that people need, versus just, giving them a show. You know what I'm saying? Being set apart, because still being set apart. I just add that because, like, it's like an issue I had. I can't speak to nobody else. Even my first year, like, it'd be hard for you to teach them, because they, it's like our women been from away from their own kind of men for so long, being under subjection of their own nationality of men, that they don't reverence them. And that's another thing that stipulates them not reverencing them, because the scripture tells them to ask their husbands if they will learn anything, then ask their husbands at home. Right. And beside of the churches. But then, like, with all the schools, they have intermediate, so it's like, it's still no reverence there, and it's still like a lot of
back up a little bit. You said with all the schools, I think I missed something that you were saying. You said with all the school, there's no reverence. What do you mean by that?
Like, for like sometimes between the husband and the wife, because they feel like they don't have to listen to you. I listen to them, but I'm not gonna listen to you.
It's perfect. I'm glad that you asked this question, because the class that we're gonna go into, we're gonna see why brothers deal with that. But I'm gonna give you an answer. Now, so basically you're saying that, or let me ask you what you're saying in a whole. I think I'm putting both of your. No, I just want to make sure I'm not putting words in your mouth. So basically what you're saying is that the women don't reverence their husbands because of the title that we put on the school, as far as school or church?
No, well, I'm gonna say because of the rules that go on in them, because they can do all the asking of the questions, but it's like they rather ask another man than ask their own husband.
Right.
And the scripture tells them if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
Yeah, but what if their husband
learn anything?
What if their husband don't know the answer?
And
then what?
I don't remember what that scripture is, but when she asked those questions, it's supposed to cause him to study. Because, like, say for instance, my real come to me and say, Jeremiah, babe, I didn't understand such.
Right.
If I don't have the answer on hand, first I'm going to try to read and look for it. If I can't get it, then I'm finna wear out my elder's doorstep and be like, say, you see what I'm saying? Because because the Most High still got that order for us. Probably been subject to the prophets, right? So I'm gonna go to my elders and say, I was asked this question. Can you help me with some information to go here so I can and explain it to me so I can understand it, where I can better understand it and break it down for my reader.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. See, this is the thing. With that, if a man says, if I'm with my rib, and I say, listen, if you got questions, don't ask in class, just ask me. For one, if I lay that order down, she don't even need to be in class. If I say, listen, don't ask the brothers nothing, just ask me, then there's no reason for her to be even in the classroom. You see what I'm saying? So then they didn't even open up that door of her asking questions to brothers. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't even let her come to class if that was me. Now, if you say, listen, if that's something that you are doing in your household, if you say, listen, I only want you to deal with me on questions, right? Then yeah, you would have to follow those steps as far as wearing out the steps of the elders and doing all that. But if she's not following that, then that's something that got nothing to do with the title of the school, whether it's called a church, a school, a congregation, an assembly. That got nothing to do with that. That got something to do with her respect for that man. That got nothing to do with the school, because people do whatever they want. She got to respect you. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Didn't come in May when you was like, you might well leave him home, but they didn't leave him home like in the scripture. That's why he said let them keep silent in church, because even though they're going to ask you the question or whatever, it's still good for them to be in that environment, because just like when we talk to them, a lot of times through the spirit, you guys come back and go right back over that same thing.
And reaffirm things.
Right, to reaffirm it. And then at the same time, you guys teach a new thing, right? And then, because she's still supposed to be listening regardless, right? So if I go home and then I see her break that, and then I say something about it, well, we just learned this today. Just because she's not asking the questions, she still should be paying attention and learning as well. But that's why I would ask questions after class or something like that to make sure they understood. And if they don't, then, you know what I'm saying, if I can't, you know what I'm saying, explain, then I will ask for advice too.
Yeah, but again, see, that goes back to that man and his household and the way his rib follows him. That's what it got nothing to do with me, a brother, the school, the title. That's up to that man, how he deals with his house and how much you use the word reverence, right? That goes to how much that woman reverences her husband and his word.
Because like one time, like y'all had, I guess, women class or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, she came home and then first thing she said, I don't want you to be offended, but you know, he said the same thing, but I can't understand what he said. I'm like, why would you even say that? If he said the exact same thing I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even try to put that in my face or something? Like,
but see,
you understand, but it's the exact same thing.
Right, but you know what's crazy about people's perception and reception of information? I can say the same thing to you that I can say to Samuel, and you get two different understandings. That's just the reality of the situation. It happens. Am I saying that I'm better than any man because I'm able to? If your rib gets it from me and not from you, no. Is that wrong? No, because it's not like I'm like, let me make sure this sister gets it so I can get with her. No. Let's make sure she gets it so that when she goes home, she can see that her husband said the same thing, and then the brothers that's not even at the house comes back and says the same exact thing, maybe with different words, maybe with a little different understanding. That should trigger something in her brain. That, damn, these brothers ain't against, my husband ain't against me. You see what I'm saying? That's why the scripture, get to the pure, all things are pure. And I'm going to quote it, but that's why the scriptures say to the pure, all things are pure. Because the outlook shouldn't be, listen, if we all one body, if we all one mind, the outlook shouldn't be, oh, well, I told you, you didn't listen, and then the brother said it, and then you got it. It should be like, okay, the scriptures, don't the scriptures, go to Job real quick. Go to Job real quick. Damn, I just turned right to it. That's crazy. Go to Job real quick. See, this is the problem with Israel, where go to Job chapter 33 and verse 14. See, the perception or the take back from it shouldn't be, oh, how come you're listening to them and not me? Or how can you get it when he says it? Or when the brothers say it? Or how, you know, it should be like, damn, okay, she's getting it. Let me find other ways to, listen, the one thing we always got to remember as teachers, if a person don't get what you're saying, it's not their fault, it's yours. That's always been my thing. If a person don't get what I'm saying, it ain't their fault. It's my fault. My delivery and my way that I'm dropping it gotta cater to their understanding. You see that? But read that real quick. Job 33 and verse 14.
Job chapter 33, verse 14.
Read.
For God speaketh once.
So the Most High speaks once. Go ahead.
Yea, twice.
And he'll speak twice if a person don't get it. But this is the problem. Go ahead.
Yet man perceiveth it not.
Yeah, see, in most cases, men don't perceive it. But we should be happy when they get it. We should be like, Rakatha Yahweh. The Most High spoke once through me. The Most High came right back around through the Spirit, through the brothers, or even through a sister. They be like that. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. You think I got time to deal with my rib on every single issue? Hell no. I be sick of the sisters on her. Like, listen, this is what I'm dealing with. Get ahead and deal with her real quick. Obviously, yes, after I've talked to my rib. I'll talk to her, and I'll just let her sit. You know, I got my sisters that I let deal with my rib on certain issues, and I'll say, listen, this is what I dealt with her on. I won't give them no other info. I'm just like, this is the topic. This is what I dealt with her on. And they'll come back and say the same exact thing that I said. Because the scriptures say we all speak in the same mind, right? Same judgment. So I do that purposely for my rib to see that the things that are coming from me ain't coming from me. It's coming from him. Because when a sister can come and back up everything I said through the Spirit, through the Word, she got to recognize it. Her spirit got to bear witness that it's not me coming with my own plan or coming with my own way of doing things. Nah, that's right here in the book. And the way you're thinking is off, but guess what? Where 2 and 3 are gathered, that's where Christ is. You see that? So, I mean, that's how we got to look at it. I got cold. That's how we got to look at it. We can't look at it as, you got to remember, bro, our people have been so ripped down and so destroyed that one person ain't going to fix another person. Who said it best? Hillary Clinton, she said it takes a village, right? That was her little slogan, it takes a village. It's going to take more than just you to fix your rib. It's going to just take more than him to get his rib right, or me, or one brother to get me right. It takes a body. That's why we are the body of Christ. Because you need more than one person giving input on a situation, so a person can see like, okay, this is not this person's motive. This is not this person. This person doesn't have ulterior motives against me. You see what I'm saying? It's actually the benefit. I look at it, when I got sisters that deal with my rib on the same things. If I'm dealing with my rib on something, I'm like, I deal with my, I deal with her, counsel real quick, talk to her. I'll resolve the issue. But then I'll still have a sister go back and be like, hey, in a roundabout way, how was your day? What's going on with you? What you dealing with? Abadiah does that a lot for me. And Abadiah will go right up in that book with my rib, like, hit the same exact scriptures I done hit. And I'm like, damn. You see, but I look at that as a benefit. I'm like, hell yeah. Because she's taking her into the book through the Spirit. And it's showing that, for one, that we all have to speak the same mind. We all got to be in the same judgment. Know those that labor amongst you. You see that? We all got to be doing and saying this, we got to speak the same things through the Spirit. That's one. And if I can just let a sister know, hey, surface, this is what my rib is dealing with, and they come back with the same counsel that I already gave, I'm like, wow, okay. You see what I'm saying? So I look at that for me. For me, that's a benefit. I'm like, hell yeah. You know why? Because with all the brothers I got to deal with and all the other things we got to deal with, I don't always have time to go in depth, like super in depth with my rib. I don't have time for that all the time on every issue. So what I got to do? A good leader knows how to do what?
Delegate. He
knows how to delegate. So I do that. I do it with these brothers. I can't deal with every man. There's not enough time in the day to deal with every brother. with every issue in depth. So things have to be delegated. That's what a good leader knows that, okay, what happened with Moses? Yeah, what did he tell him?
It's not good.
He told him to get officers of tens, hundreds. Why? He said, dude, by the time you're done dealing with all these people's issues, you're going to kill yourself. Looking at him like, bro, you don't, by the time, give it a week, you're going to be wore out. Mentally, you're going to be done, and you're not going to be a benefit.
You're not going to be as efficient as he was.
Right, the potency level, the efficiency, none of that's going to be there. The council is going to be off. So he said, look, get you some officers. Delegate. That was the main thing. He was telling them, delegate. Delegate the small matters, and the heavy stuff, you hit that. You hit the heavy matters. See, we got to take these examples. What's up?
I didn't have no problem again. I think the only thing was like, I would have to find out about things of my own household through someone else versus her, telling me first before, going to say things like when it first started, it was like, well, hey, she don't trust you. I'm like, damn, she never told me that. So, you understand what I'm saying? So it was like,
right, you getting secondhand info.
Right, so it's not supposed to be like that, especially.
You're right, it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. And
That's what my issue was.
It's not supposed to be like that. Because if we ain't got no questions,
That's why you ask, like, why when they had their class, like, why we wouldn't be able to sit in there, like, when we talk about our issue, they're amongst us.
Are you talking about like on Sundays? Well, that Sunday class, listen, for one, that's not for the faint of heart. Brothers don't even want to be in there. Trust me. Trust me. Y'all don't want to be in that. And there's a reason why we do that. There's a reason why we do that class, not so we can have information on brothers' households. What's up, sis?
Oh, I was just going to say on what he was saying that he wanted to be in a class. A lot of sisters are not going to open up if they're talking about their husband and they see him sitting right there.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of
somebody else about him, you know what I'm saying? Because the scripture tells you got a problem with a person, you go to that person.
okay, so hold on.
He was a brother.
Stop right there. So then now, see, I'm glad you said that, because I was about to go there. I'm glad you said that. So now, if your rib got a problem with you, and she don't come to you, for one, she's not following the scripture, but there's something there where it got nothing to do with nobody else around, because guess what? If we weren't here, she would go to somebody else and tell them out in the streets. Yeah. You see that? So it got nothing to do, it doesn't have anything to do with the people that are around. It has to do with the connection between that husband and that wife, where she's not conforming to the scriptures and she's not following that man. Give me 1 Peter. See, this is where you first gotta go. You first I like this question, man, because it's gonna go right into the class. But yep, get that. Have him read that.
It's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
They should be what?
In subjection to their own husbands.
See, this is the first thing that should be instilled in a woman. This is the first thing that should be instilled in a woman before, technically, excuse my language, before you even lay with her. Sis.
I just wanted to give some input.
What's that?
I had the same thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to open up.
Yeah.
But again, it's about the connection. I have to continue to be reminded, hey, you can come to me about anything.
But you didn't want to open up to who?
To my husband.
Right, but okay, let me ask you this though. You didn't want to open up to your husband, but were you more willing to open up to your husband, to other people other than him?
I did with a sister.
Okay. Right, which is understandable.
Right.
Because it's understandable. Women are more relatable as far as y'all are women. Y'all are. It's easy.
And then I didn't just go to any sister. I went to elder sisters.
Elder sisters. But see, there's a reason why. There's a reason why if your rib can't come and talk to you. Listen, my rib can come and talk to me about anything. She knows that. But there was something that had to be established between me and her for her to be able to do that.
But see, it goes back like to my original question. Because see, it's easier, even with me, like strangers come to me and just be talking to me, I'd be like, but I would always listen. And same thing, sometimes you'll be talking to somebody who you don't even know, you just open up.
Right.
Because you don't have to deal with that individual. Or that's not the individual who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not gonna be no offense there.
Standard, right.
Right.
So and that's basically what it was. And I saw that, but then I saw like sometimes if I just like, I ain't gonna say mellowed out because I consider myself to be mellow, but you know what I'm saying, if I just don't say nothing about nothing, you know, it's all smile, but then when you come with any form of rebuke or correction, you know what I'm saying, even in the meekness of ways, it's like offense taken. Or they you know, they shell up.
Right. Let's do this, because I want to come back to it. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to it, because it's going to go right into the class. So, let's hold what you got, right? Hold where you're at. Let's just knock out some of these quick questions. Dennis B. Moses, how can you tell if you're dealing with an Israelite cult community camp? There's a lot of reasons. Are they telling you to drink Kool-Aid and die? Or, I mean, nah. I'm joking. Well, for one, are they telling you, who are you worshiping? Are you worshiping, like, the leader of the camp? Are they telling you to worship the whatever man you have in the leadership role? Is that, like, who you worship? Is that who you pray to? That's one check that you're in a cult. Are they talking about we gotta sleep with your rib? That you know, we gotta sleep with your rib, things like that. That's number two. Are they following the scriptures? And when I say following the scriptures, what you want?
It's 3:23.
What?
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, Colossians chapter 3 verse 23.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23.
My bad. Colossians chapter 3 verse 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men.
Right. See, this is the one thing. Are they doing things wholeheartedly unto the Lord and not unto men?
Like they actually following the scriptures.
Are they following the scriptures? Like, I mean, you gotta give me some examples of what you're dealing with if you're in a camp like that, or if you're in a camp. Let me know some of the things you're dealing with. All right. So I'll just wait for a little bit of that. Is Timothy's father an Israelite? Are you talking about Timothy in the book of Timothy? Hebrews 9:22, we'll hold off on that one. I'll come back to you on that. Can you give me some edification of the meaning of ruddy? As there is a lot of doctrine about Esau not being the so-called white, but the Arab man. This doctrine is said about amongst Old Testament Israelites. I mean, we can look it up. That's what I like to do. I was checking out something the other day on this. Yeah, the word ruddy. It said David was ruddy. listen, are they trying to lead you through the spirit, or are you walking through the flesh? Is everything they do predicated on some fleshly gain, women, money, and you gaining it and then giving it to some leader? Is that what it's about? Or are you being built through the spirit? These are some of the ways to know what you're dealing with. Are you able to ask questions? Or is it just whatever they say goes? Are they making you a robot? Because we definitely don't want that in here. Where you at?
It's this is 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 42. And this is on the ruddy. And it says, and when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy,
right,
and of a fair countenance.
Let me get back there. You said 1 Samuel?
Okay.
Yes, sir. 1 Samuel what?
17, verse 42.
Yeah, see this, man. The one that what I was watching.
I got one for you.
What's that?
About ruddy complexion. See, in this case, it describes a healthy reddish glow. Your skin might have ruddy tone from working outside, like the darkening of the skin.
Right, but a reddish glow. I mean,
I have red skin. I'm dark, but my skin is
that's how my skin. If I get a tan, it gets like a weird clayish reddish. Right.
You know what's funny? Mine says of a bright yellow color.
Damn.
As ruddy gold.
Wow, you see that? So ruddy just means.
And then it says unusual.
Plus, we know that in this scripture it was talking about David's countenance. Right. Anyway, it wasn't talking about. For he was but a youth and ruddy and of fair countenance. But man, I wish I would have. That ruddy was cold because they were going into the color. I mean, this definition. Where are we at again?
1 Samuel 17 and 42.
Yeah.
You know, I got ruddy, like you said, countenance, right?
Yeah.
It says ruddy, cheerful, hopeful, confident, and optimistic, impulsive. So.
And where's that at?
It's the definition of
That's in Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to go too hard for that.
And then to go back on that too.
Check this out. Watch this. Watch this. Let's go. Let's go to Songs of Solomon 5 and 10 real quick.
Oh man, can I hit this?
No, go ahead.
It's Esther, right?
Yeah.
It's Esther in the Apocrypha. It's chapter 15, verse 5. Speaking of Esther. And it says, and she was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty. So when you go back to that definition, what made her beauty perfect was not just the carnal. It was her countenance. It was that she was cheerful, she was hopeful, she was confident, she was optimistic, she was impulsive. You know what I mean? So it's like you go back to David. When you go back to David, when it says, and when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. So it was showing how David's countenance, he was optimistic, he was confident, he was impulsive, he was hopeful. So even though David is young, he's looking at Goliath like, yeah, I got you. You know what I mean?
Go to Songs of Solomon 5 and 10 real quick, and Allison.
What was the scripture in Esther? The rest of Esther?
It's 15 and 5. Esther chapter 15, verse 5.
Songs of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Read that.
My beloved is white and ruddy.
Okay, so how does that make sense? My beloved is white and red.
Yeah.
You see that? It's talking about that countenance. So even when they were, because they tried to pull that, like, see, David was ruddy, and then if the Edomites was red and David was ruddy, then Esau ain't the white man. Come on, stop. It's talking about his countenance.
Yeah.
Wasn't talking about the color of his skin.
And you know.
You see that? What were we gonna say?
And even on the Songs of Solomon, when you go to chapter 1, verse 5, he says, I am black but beautiful. Right? So for it to come back in chapter 5 and 10 and say, my beloved is white and ruddy, most likely it's saying he's pure.
Yeah,
like
that's what it was. He's white, yeah, pure. Let's see here. Watch, go to Lamentations 4 and 7. Lamentations 4 and verse 7. Yeah, you know, it's important to, it's easy, you gotta remember, it's easy for them to go and pick out one scripture and be like, yeah, this is it. Mm-hmm. But what about the other ones? You know, it's always, you gotta go to the other scriptures. Read that.
Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Her Nazarites were purer than snow.
Go ahead.
They were whiter than milk.
Read.
They were more ruddy in body than rubies.
Read.
Their polishing was of sapphire.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, because of that purity. You can't be white and red at the same time. It doesn't make sense.
And then,
what part of them was red and what part was white? So what's up?
Could it be kind of like they were full of that wisdom too?
Yeah, it was the wisdom. The wisdom gives you that glow. Right. Yeah, like the scriptures.
Like the definition said right here. When it said, ruddy, of a bright yellow color, as ruddy gold. It was making them glow.
Right.
They shine.
Watch. Check this out.
Even in verse 8.
Go ahead, go to it.
Even in this, because we had Lamentations 4 and 7. It says, her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Now, if it was talking about their skin tone or their skin complexion, it comes back in verse 8 and says their visage is blacker than a coal. Right. And that's your face.
Yeah, your visage. Watch this. Go to Revelations real quick. Go to Revelations. We know that Revelations 1 and, chapter 1 basically is a description of Christ, right? Right. So jump to Revelation chapter 1, verse 16.
Revelations chapter 1 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
And he had in his right hand 7 stars.
Speaking of Christ, go ahead.
And out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword.
The word, go ahead.
And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
Yeah, you see that? It could have easily said his countenance was ready.
Yeah.
It could have easily said that right there. Showing that glow, that from the wisdom. You see that? And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength. It was through the wisdom. It could have easily said, oh, and his countenance was ready. Like the sun in his wisdom. You see that?
Okay.
So, yeah, Esau is still the white man. It don't matter what doctrine they come with. He's not the Arab. Because guess what? Ain't no Arab out there shooting your ass in the streets, pulling you out of police cars. Ain't no Arab tainting your water in Detroit. Ain't no Arabs running the U.S. government, trying to run the country into the damn ground and start a war. Ain't no Arabs doing that.
Ain't no Arabs running the UN.
Right. Ain't no Arabs running the UN. Yeah, the scriptures say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Show me what Arab runs the earth. And I'll show you that Esau runs the earth because he done migrated into the Arabs, right? And acts like an Arab. I'll show you that Esau is in Africa acting like an African because he done raped and robbed all the Africans. I'll show you where Esau acting like an Israelite, right? Acting like an Egyptian in every country. The scriptures say he will be a vagabond on the earth. So a vagabond is a homeless man. He ain't got no home. So what does he do? He goes and rapes and robs anything close that he can find. And then what does he do? Sleeps with everything and assimilates himself into that culture. So Esau is still the white man.
You know, like
I don't say this real often, but he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. I don't say it often because there's enough brothers saying it. But Esau is the white man, and he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Plain and simple. There's no, listen, first of all, the scriptures show that it's true. But then guess what? The whole earth is playing it out. The Bible's being played out through the earth. It's like a movie, man, and we have the script. We got the script. We already read it. We're like, yeah, we know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. So, I mean, those, first of all, those old, and if it's some Old Testament Hebrews pushing this, come on. They don't believe in Christ anyway, so they're not even reading the Old Testament right. Whole Old Testament talks of Christ. So, if they can't see that, then how you can't believe some doctrine that they're coming with that Esau's the Arab, or Japhet, or whoever they want to, whoever he wants to be. Esau is everybody. If you want to be technical, he's engrafted himself everywhere in every single land. Y'all don't even know who Esau is. That's the thing. You been looking at a cat, dark as coal, and you trace his lineage all the way back, like, damn, his daddy was a white man. Or not an Israelite. And you be like, damn, okay. Now I see why he acted like the way, now I see why he acts the way he acts, or he says certain things against the Most High. It was just never in his spirit. So yeah, we gotta be, you know, I mean, we definitely gotta be careful because we don't know. Our judgment, first of all, what time is it? Listen, man, our judgment be so off on the smallest things. There's no way you can just look at a person and detect their nationality. Brothers' judgments be so off just in their own household on how to raise their kids and deal with their woman, that how can you dictate another person and look at a man and be like, oh yeah, he's an Edomite. Oh yeah, he's an Ishmaelite. Oh yeah, he's this, he's that. Nah, we don't got that. Christ had that. But we don't got that because the way we look at things and the way we judge incorrectly because we're not judging through the Spirit. So hopefully that gave you a little bit on that ready. Is there anything else after that?
Sir,
yeah.
Someone asked us 501c3, okay?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% knowledgeable on the 501c3. As far as I know, it's like tax exemption. There's one facet of it. It exempts you from tax, from being taxed.
The 501c3. The reason I think a lot of people will say it's bad, because I was saying it too at one time, is because the government, when they accept that, then they have to they have their government's place of distribution. Like if the government want to pass something through,
right?
They use that. Since I've given you these free taxes, this is what you got to do for me, type thing.
But I think that's why I said it's a part of it, because I think you could be 501c and not have to deal with that aspect of it. As far, I mean, like I said, not 100% versed in the 501c. To me, I don't even care about it.
Yeah.
What's up?
I did some little studying on the 501c3.
Uh-huh.
It was horrible, man.
What were they talking about?
It was about how they teach that the ministers let not talk against any kind of candidate, political candidate, but not speak against like shooting of all people. They're not going in the church and teach against homosexuality. Better accept homosexuals in the church as ministers and teachers. Yeah. I got one on that was deep. I mean, I'm not even close to everything that I saw on them. I'm not even close.
What were you watching?
I pulled it up. I pulled it up on Google about it, and then I seen this guy teaching on it and bring some real good history on it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I haven't looked into that because it just.
But you're right though, it is tax exempt.
Yeah, I know it's
But it turns them to a degree.
To a degree, yeah. And that's the thing. I think there's levels to it where it is to a degree where you don't have to. You can do the tax exemption.
Right.
But and I think there's other things when they start giving you like assistance. Think about these churches. These churches, man, they were built by the government.
That's right.
But they built them. Nobody built this.
Right.
You see, these government, they come in and they plotted, they built these churches.
Right.
So, I mean, we're already here. So, I mean, if it's just about being tax exempt, I mean, nobody wants to pay taxes. Because guess what? Any American out there that could be tax exempt is going to do it. And they just be finding a way to do it.
Right.
They be changing them taxes to 0 or be putting it all the way up to 9, right? So that way they don't get taxed. So, I think that's all it is, you know? I don't, like I said, I don't know too much about it, man. That's just a whole different realm of what I deal with.
But it's basically what you just said. They build them big mega ones for them.
Yeah, they give
them
all,
and they give them all them millions. They telling you what you better say in that church. Because if you don't, you finna lose all that.
Right.
So most men would rather lose their soul than gain all the riches. Because they said what profit a man to gain the world, but lose his soul. So
right.
I guess they rather lose their soul because the money looks so good to them.
Right. This brother has a question that says, was Timothy, he said, was Timothy's father, and I'm just going to look up this, I mean, when you look it up, brothers want to go all the way into genealogies. Well, all you do is look it up. Watch this.
Now he's asking, was Timothy an Israelite? Because that's a real question.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I'm trying to go back to the YouTube real quick. He said, can you help me? Was Timothy an Israelite? First question, is Timothy's father an Israelite? Mm-hmm. Well, this is the thing. It says here, you just look it up. And this is just a fair definition. We definitely have to do a little more research on it. Actually, we're going to hold the question. Let me look into it. Because, again, you can hop in all these books and they'll give you one account. We got to get the balance. So what I'll do, let me get some more info on this and we'll go from there. So I like that question though. Feels like a bait question, but it's all good. Where's my pen at? Let me see. You borrow your pen real quick? Let's write that down. So yeah, we're gonna come back to that Timothy question and that Hebrews also. And then was that it? Alright, let's go back though. Let's go back to this brother's. We're gonna go back to the first question. Because this is gonna go right into the classroom. It's gonna go right into the class. If you got any other questions, y'all can throw them in there. We'll try to get to them. So, Jeremiah, let's go back. You were saying, I had one up here. I left all my pens at the house. Yeah, throw me one, please. Yeah. I'll take this one. So, let's go back. So you were saying that, what we were talking about was basically a woman not reverencing her husband, right? And where were we? We were at 1 Peter's, right?
Chapter 3, verse 1.
Let's go to 1 Peter's 3 and 1. So we're going to take it back to the first question.
1 Peter's chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Right. So we're understanding that if a sister who was married to a man, got a husband, and she's more willing to disclose her problems with him to other people than to come to him, there's a break in the link, right? There's something there that wasn't established. What's up?
I'm going more so to say with anything, because it was like things were done like intentionally, like spitefully, or towards like I would try to speak or communicate with her, and I could get no more than yeah, no, like basically just a basic response. But if she would talk to her brother, stepdad, cousin, anybody, I mean, she would communicate, and I would just be like sitting there like in awe, like I didn't know she can even talk sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, damn.
And that's bad. I'm not laughing at you.
Nah,
I'm just laughing because that's cold.
It is.
Right? But see, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 6. And give me verse 7. See, and we're gonna go right into the class. You can call this, you can title it Prove a Friend. The importance of proving a friend. Because for one, who thinks that is important? Who knows what it means to prove a friend?
To prove a friend is not just to count them good, like right off the bat, just because they may say something nice or deal with you in a certain kind of way.
Right.
But when you fall at your lowest point and you really need the help, because the scripture talk about how the poor man friends hates him. That'll be their friend that's gonna always be loving towards you no matter what the situation.
Right, but this is the thing. Okay, so you said, what's that?
You said it's called the importance of proving a friend?
Yeah. And you said something that was key. That them being there for you in your lowest points, right? Yeah, but this is the thing. How do you know if they're gonna be there for you in your lowest points if they don't have that time? You know what I mean? Like, how do you know that?
Well, I consider myself, like, if I say I'm somebody's friend, like, I'm their friend, like, they ain't got to worry about it. Like, if you call me at 3 in the morning, hey, man, I'm stuck, such and such, such and such. I'm not going to ask you no question. I'll be great, man, what you doing over here? I'm finna come see about you because, my best interest is make sure you good and, you know what I'm saying, you be secure just as I would.
Right. Go to, where we at? Ecclesiastes 6?
Ecclesiastes 6 and 7.
Read that.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
If thou wouldest get a friend,
If thou would get a friend, go ahead.
prove him first.
Do what?
Prove him first.
Read on.
And be not hasty to credit him.
Yeah. See, the scriptures outline how to deal with a friend. This is how to deal with a friend that could be a potential woman, potential wife. So if thou would get a friend, prove him first. And be not hasty to credit him. See, a lot of brothers, sisters mess up. We mess up a lot. Listen, the Most High is putting it in our hearts to be what? Compassionate, genuine, accepting. To look at the positive instead of the negative, right? To have that positive outlook about a person and not automatically think like, this nigga's off, this sister's off, but say, okay, damn, I know they're dealing with some stuff, but they're a good person. Right? That's where the Most High is trying to gear our minds to. But he said, read it one more time.
If thou wouldest get a friend,
But when this person comes along, go ahead.
prove him first.
Yeah, no matter what, you got to prove them. See, we mess up because we don't follow this right here. And then what happens is you get into these relationships where you didn't prove them, and then down the line you figure out like we don't agree. And I'm jumping. What were you gonna say? You get to this point where it's like, well, we don't agree on that. But guess what? You didn't see what y'all agreed on or disagreed on. And then now, since you don't agree, you didn't have enough time to figure out how to communicate on a disagreement. So guess what it does? A downward spiral. Kamikaze, your relationship, kamikaze, right into the ground. Boom. Blows up. So it says, if thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first. Go ahead.
And be not hasty to credit him.
And be not what?
Hasty to credit him.
Yeah, we're too quick. Listen, there's nothing wrong with trying to find the good in a person. It's nothing wrong with looking at a person and saying, yeah, they got issues, they got problems, but there's also this good side. There's nothing wrong with that. Samuel, what's up? Samuel's looking at me. What's up, Sam? You good? Listening? There's nothing wrong with that. But that don't mean that she got to be your wife in the first 2 weeks. That don't mean that that's your homeboy in the first 2 weeks of you knowing him. You see what I'm saying? Or even in the first month, or in the first. Listen, we need to start learning how to practice as Israelites abstinence, abstaining from things. We got to practice it, because you know why? When you was out in the world, when you was banging everything, when you were a little chick out in the world hopping on every pole, there was no abstinence. You can't bring that same mentality of how I'm going to deal with women in the world into the truth. Why? It ain't going to work. You can't put new wine in old bottles. You can't put a patch on an old garden. Like, it's not going to work. It ain't going to hold up. Finish up where you at.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it? No, it says be not hasty to credit him. Where you at? Oh, no, that's not what I want yet. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. Go to Romans. No, actually go to Proverbs 17, verse 17. Scriptures say to prove a friend. So how do you prove a friend? What is going to prove that person? Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 17. See, these are the things as men, as women growing up in the knowledge and coming up in wisdom. The first thing you should be doing is like, okay, the Most High sent this person to me. What are they about? What is going on with them? What are they about? Are they here to distract? Are they here to build, grow? Are they here to just leech off my spirit? What are they about?
It's funny that said that, because like since she been gone, like since we, done away, and I was like, the Most High had revealed something to me too, like, like you were saying, like that old man, because like, I used to be the old monk out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he had showed me that I had allowed myself to be weak by the flesh, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I seen it for myself, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? So I said, you know what? Go back to like when you were not, like when I was in sports and, working out all the time, doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like hanging with the fellas and stuff. I didn't really have time for no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So I would get them, but I was ignoring them, not like being mean, but, not just trying to, but I was just trying to do what I seen and do the run. But like you said, it was not risk.
Right.
But I was just trying to do it because I saw it in the law,
Right. But I'm going to show you something. As we go through this, I'm going to show you that there's like 5 scriptures. If these 5 scriptures ain't followed, you're literally being the whoremonger. Even if you do it unintentionally. I'm going to show you how. Watch. It's important. See, we got to understand that. Oh, here's my pen. The way we do things, they got consequences down the line. Scriptures say you reap what you sow, right? If I plant some crop today, that ain't gonna grow till 6 months from now, depending on what it is. I ain't gonna reap the benefits of that crop until it's time. It's gonna take time. But them seeds are already sown in the ground. You don't know what's going. We gonna see. Right. Go to our Proverbs 17 and verse 17. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
A friend loveth at all times.
See, a friend loves at all times. Or they should. Right?
Huh?
I should be a friend, whether this should be my friend, my bro, no matter what. If I come to him like, listen, I get your crap together, or if I'm like, shalom, brother, how you be? That we should be friends. You should understand it's not personal. It says a friend loveth at all times. Go ahead.
And a brother is born for adversity.
Yeah, see, this is how you prove a friend. Through that adverse. The adverse times, when it gets hot and heavy, and everybody bails, then you say, damn, was nobody there for me. Right. But in that same, like when you say we in it through thick and thin, what do they give the little wedding vows? What do they say? Through sickness and health, till death do us part? They don't believe in that crap. They don't believe in that, because as soon as the bills is late, it's like, we got to separate because you don't know how to manage your money. Right? As soon as you, as soon as you lose 1 point on your credit, wife ready to leave you. Oh, your credit's bad. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've heard it and I've seen it. I've seen people divorce because, oh, his credit wasn't good enough no more. Oh, he missed 1 payment on the mortgage. He lost his job. I've seen, listen, oh man, I've seen, man, it's terrible. Because why? There wasn't nothing established there. They didn't prove that friend. Now, if we're dealing with a relationship, man and a woman, knowing that the man has in his mind, I want her to be my wife. And the woman has in her mind, I want him to be my hubby. Does that mean it has to happen the day they meet? No. Whatever happened to, let's take a little time, let's date first. Let's travel the world and do all that before we get super committed. Right? You got a lot of people that ain't on that. I used to be on that, like, listen, man, we need to take a few vacations. You know what I'm saying? We need to chill before we start getting, like, committed, because when things get serious, you don't have that time. Plus that time of hanging out and dating, what does that allow you to do? It allows you to get to know that person. Do y'all really think y'all can know a person in a month? No. In a year?
You can't even know them in 7 years.
It's hard enough to know a person in Speak it. Nah, it's real though. You know why? You know why it's hard to know a person in 7 years? Or it can be hard? Because the right questions aren't being asked. The right conversations aren't being had. It's not a spiritual thing. It's more of a carnal thing. That's why it can be hard. Or a person can just be shut into themselves. Babashaya.
I was going to also say that a person, I mean, we change. There's certain stuff that you used to do, or basically you change. You change over the years. So that, oh yeah, I used to like noodles, but now I don't. I mean, it's something so simple, but it's, to me, it makes sense.
No, you're right, but this is the thing. See, if you're with a person that you know, when you change, they'll be able to roll with the punches. It ain't gonna be like, well, I'm changing for the better, and they're like, well, you're changing for the better? What? I gotta go. Or I don't like noodles no more. What you mean you don't like noodles no more? Well, I just cook these noodles and that. No. See, but all that, because think about it, a person don't just like noodles one day and then the next day it's like, screw noodles. So everything's gradual. There's always gradual changes, right? Am I right or wrong? Am I tripping? No, I know I ain't tripping. Like, I didn't just wake up one day like, man, I ain't eating eggs no more, man. Screw that. Ready to cook the whole omelet breakfast, the whole 12 carton, and I was like, yeah, I ain't doing eggs no more. Just woke about my sleep like, no more eggs, babe. Nah. It's like, man, damn, I'm eating the eggs, but I'm feeling weird when I eat them. And then you have these conversations, and gradually you make decisions with one another. See, that's the friendship. But a lot of people don't have that. Why? Because they neglected to establish it in the beginning. They were like, yeah, I just met you. I like you. You got nice teeth, nice hair. Let's make a baby. Or let's practice at least. It's like, what? What about all the demons this person got? What about all the deep-seated, rooted issues that are in this person's mind that you haven't even scratched the surface? But as soon as you touch, it's like demons just trying to pop out their head. You ask one question about their daddy, and it's like, They start breaking down crying. You're like, damn, I only asked how old he was. But you didn't know that she had daddy issues. You right? I mean, it's things like that. You didn't know she was probably raped years ago in her life. But see, these are the things that you're supposed to get to know about a person before you say, okay, yeah, we gonna do this. Because then when things come up, it's like this. You might get with a woman, and sexually, you might be motivated all the time to have sex. And she might not be. And you're like, well, is it me? I know I'm a handsome young stud, right? What's going on here? But guess what? You didn't realize, or you didn't take the time to find out that she was molested. She was molested by like her 3 uncles and her cousin. So now she has a thing against men where she didn't turn completely gay, but sex just turns her off. And then what are you doing? Come on, babe. Come on, babe. And you forcing. And what is she doing? No. Right? And then what happens? You're like, the hell's your problem? And it turns into this thing. Come on, man. We all, well, I can't say we all been there. I've dealt with it. But see, I didn't take the time to ask the right questions and what did you deal with in your past to know. Like, oh, damn. Okay, you dealt with that, molestation, rape. Okay, now I get it. So now my whole approach got to be different. Y'all see that? But what happens is if you don't know these things and you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and she's pushing back and pulling back and pulling back, now you're creating this stigma in your household. Now it's like, oh, he's too aggressive, he's too rough, he's too this, he's too that. He don't listen. Now you don't want to. Now it's like the blame is getting cast on you, and you didn't have nothing to do with this person's issue. But all you're doing the way you come is reminding them of when they dealt with their issue. Instead of saying, damn, you got an issue, let's deal with it. But every time you approach, there might be a little touch on the shoulder. That might have been how her uncle touched her. That might have been how her cousin came to her. Touch on the shoulder. And it just sparks those memories, and guess what? She just clams up. Y'all understand that? You had your hand up.
Yeah, I see that. But yeah, I was gonna say, well, what if you have like asked those types of questions, and you're trying to communicate every chance you get, because you know they bad at speak. You know what I mean? Well, it's bad to speak to you. I ain't gonna say nobody else.
Right,
and
but
then,
go ahead.
And then you know, I'm trying to be crafty with it. You know, like why I say Muhammad is good. I'm trying like every avenue like. It got to the point where I would see what she would smile at and stuff like that. So I try to, you'll become a fool sometimes too, and just to, be sitting with them, just to give them to open up. Then when you catch them laughing or whatever, then you try to, talk to them, try to break that little wall down. And then when they come, you ask a serious question, and the wall just instantly come right back up. It's like it be like this, and like damn, what?
Okay, can I use, since you're talking? And you did ask a question, I'm going to use you for an example. And it's nothing personal and it's not no attack. What you got to realize is this. Before she became your rib, how long did you know your rib how long did you know her before she became your rib?
Know her that like outside of school?
Know her as in, this is what we going to do. It wasn't. That's the problem. That's the problem. See, a month ain't gonna cut it. See, there's nothing wrong with courting a person and doing the flirty thing over the phone and going out to eat and not having it serious to where you can't have good convo. See, that in that month, that wasn't enough time for you to prove her, to see where her head was at, to see if she was a fit woman to be a wife, to see what she needed to learn. That's not enough time. What's up?
And it's funny you said that because like before we made it, the serious part or whatever, like man, we just talked for like 8 hours, bro.
Right.
Literally, like, you know, I be at a brother house, you know, we talk and stuff, you know what I'm saying, just cool, and everything was cool, you know. And then, you know, we would talk about the marriage thing or what was expected, you know, because I'm already looking like, okay, well, cause the women I was dealing with, they were straight from the world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm already looking at, you've been in this class longer than me. You know, I'm thinking, you know,
she's supposed to know something.
Right, because I know I was Hebrew before I came here, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, okay, she gets good teaching from the teachers, so I'm thinking, you know, okay, she got some kind of understanding.
Well, we teach, it's up to everybody else to listen. We can teach all day.
Once it got serious, the communication just...
Right.
Damn, what the hell?
Well, this is the thing, because it got serious too fast. Dabashaya.
I was just gonna say that it's like going, yeah, we were friends at one point in time, and now we're married. I guess it's more of like I don't see you as a friend anymore.
Right, because that friendship, it was never built.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You went from like acquaintances to marriage. That's really what it was. You went from being acquainted to being married. There was no friendship in between. That month didn't give you enough time. It gives nobody enough time to develop a friendship. Because what did it say? Read Proverbs 17 and 17 again.
Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
A friend love it at all times.
Go ahead. See, and this is the thing. It says a friend loves at all times. In 1 month, you guys didn't go through all the times. And what I mean by that, you didn't go through the down times, the up times, the good times, the bad times. Guess what y'all had? Just good times. You see that? Y'all had that honeymoon stage that every couple should have, but it should have went longer. Go ahead.
And a brother is born for adversity.
You didn't go through the adversity. There was no adversity there. Where it's like, damn, okay, this is what we're going to be going through. Oh, well, damn. She went through that. Damn, she's a rider. Damn, I made the Most High put her through this and put her through that. Because the one thing we always got to realize, when you step through those doors, the scriptures say, when you come to prepare the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. So the first thing we look at when we see brothers and sisters come in is like, okay, what's going to be their battle? Right? What's going to be this person's battle? What are they going to deal with? That's what proves them, if they get through their battle, their first initial battle. But see, if you don't let a person even get to that stage in their development, in being a real wife, and being a real follower of Christ, then they already lost the battle. Because now they think it's just all about good times. So now when the hard times hit, it's like, you didn't find out, and we make the mistake of not finding out, how does this person deal with adversity? Do they tuck and run, or do they put them up and fight? The one thing I can say about my rib, from jump, she was a fighter. I knew that from the jump. Like, we've been through it. We've been through it. So I know, like, when it's time to fight, she gonna fight. She ain't gonna dip. She gonna fight it out. And if it gets too hard, I'll have to fight it for her. You know what I'm saying? But I know the one thing I always knew was that what type of person she was when things got hard or when it got uncomfortable. See, when things are comfortable, everybody, that's why it says a friend love it at all times. When things is good, it's like, shit, yeah, I want to be around. Hell yeah, we're friends. It's all gravy. You tell me what I want to hear. You rubbing my back the way I need it to be rubbed. All that. But guess what? I don't feel like rubbing your back today. I ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. How you going to react? You going to keep your same demeanor, or you going to peel off? And the world, go to Romans. Go to Romans 12 and verse 2. See, the world tells us when it gets hard, when the tough gets going, the tough run. When it gets rough, on to the next. When it gets hard, I ain't got to deal with that. But see, it's our job as men in wisdom, as women in wisdom, to say, okay, what type of person is this? The Most High is going to put them through their trial. All you got to do is sit back, watch, and give wisdom to help them go through it and see what they do. But we think too much with the wrong brain as men. We think with the brain between our pants, between our legs, instead of using the muscle that counts. Read that. Were you say something? Oh, yeah, go ahead and read that. Romans 12, verse 2.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world.
Yeah, because the world tells us when it gets hard, leave. When it gets hard, dip out. You ain't got to deal with that. Oh, he's talking to you a certain way. Well, guess what? Go find you a new man. The world tells you, listen, you find a chick in the club, you bang her that night and send her on her way. Or love at first sight, right? Or I can go on one blind date with you and fall in love. Like, no damn sense. Love at first sight? What the hell? I don't love anything at first sight. Scripture say examine everything. I'm looking at everything for flaws. That's me. I'll appreciate all the good things, but I'm looking for the flaws. I'm looking for the hang-ups. I'm checking for the baggage. I'm checking all that. Brother or sister. Because that's who needs the help. Come on, man. Let's be real. Any brother in here that gets a woman think that that woman's going to be perfect? No. Them that are whole need not a physician. I mean, the Bible says it. The sick need the physician. So the sick is going to be sent to you to be healed. Not just bang them and then that's it. Not just 2 weeks in, a month in, and all of a sudden we're married. I don't know a damn thing about you. I don't know. All I have is a month. Okay, let me take that back. I do know about you. I got about 2 months of conversation about you. That ain't enough. That ain't enough to get to know, to really know, especially in this, what we dealing with. Come on. Everything can be a distraction. Why take the chance? Read that.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
See, the renewing of your mind should tell you, okay, let me start dealing with people differently. Let me not just receive every spirit. We're going to go there. Let me not just receive everything that comes to me, because guess what? That might be a detriment to me and my household. See, brothers don't realize, sisters don't realize, when you're in this battle, this spiritual fight, there are households on the line. It ain't just you no more. It ain't just you and sowing your wild oats. It ain't just about you and your feelings. Now you got households on the line. Now you got an example to uphold. Y'all see that? Read on.
That ye may prove what is that good.
You might do what?
May prove what is that good.
Yeah. How do you prove what's good? How do I know if a car is good or not? Gotta drive it a little bit, right? You think that little whack-ass test drive they give you is going to prove to you if a car is good or not? Hell no, because if it starts raining and it breaks down in the rain, but I test drove it on a day when it didn't rain, I'm going to be like, well, goddamn. I'm going to be mad as hell, right? If I drive it in the snow and it breaks down in the snow, but I'm like, well, wait, I test drove it. It should run. But when did you test drive it? On a bright, sunny day? What's up, sis?
It's just on the car thing, like you said. You know the situation when we have that Mercedes. We got a Mercedes from a dealership. The car that I had before we got the Mercedes, it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
I got the Mercedes and another car. The Mercedes started. What was it? The electrical went out. Everything started happening, and it was like, but it seemed like it was a good car.
Yeah.
But basically, after paying a year on it, it's like, okay,
it's not a good car.
All this stuff started happening.
Right.
It don't start when it gets cold.
No, right. See, but y'all test drove it in the summer. Or guess what? It's mostly always hot in Texas. Y'all didn't test drive it at 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning when the sister got to go to work. You see that? But this is the thing. How do you deal with that type of situation? Yeah, obviously, vehicles might be a little bit of a bad analogy, only because after so long, a vehicle will start to do what it does. But so will a person. So will a person. See, it's not a bad analogy only because a person, you don't have to commit to them wholeheartedly within the first night. You don't got to test drive them on one date and be like, oh, well, they were good. The first date was amazing. That's my wife. That's my husband. No, you could be like, well, first date, I'm gonna give you 100 more dates to see what's up. You can do that. Like, are brothers scared to do that? Like, I don't get it. Are sisters scared to take their time? Y'all think y'all missing out on something? Do brothers think they're missing out on something if they don't just make that woman hit your rib within the first day? Within the first week, 2 weeks, month, 3 months? You got brothers that'll wait. Listen, brothers can wait 8 months. I've known of brothers that have waited 8 months to deal with a woman and still have to come back and say, damn, made the wrong choice because there was things I didn't see about that woman. There was things she was holding back within that 8 months. And when I say dealing with them 8 months, I'm talking about intense dealings in the mind. And still, that person was able to hold back some of the demonic crap in them. So, what's up?
You know, that's what I used to learn from my elders, because I used to see my grandparents old.
Yeah.
My father knowing them old, you know, their people. And they say you don't really truly learn somebody till you actually start dwelling with them. Well, in a relationship, whether like, you know, husband and wife.
Oh, yeah.
Some people you ain't gonna know until you come to those things, because everything seems sweet in the beginning.
It's a honeymoon.
Right. So.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be. But it's like when you move in, it's like, well, I like plants. Well, I hate plants. It's like, well, damn. You were buying me plants and doing all that? Because me, I'm a plant lover. My rib, she don't care about plants. But she don't trip if I have them in the house. She just know I like plants. You know, it's little things. It's little things where it's like, well, I don't need this, but, well, I do. Well, then now you got to compromise. Well, I don't watch this TV show. Well, I do. Now you got to compromise. But then it goes more in depth than some damn TV shows and what you eat. Because guess what? You get with a chick in the first month, get her pregnant, she having twins. Now what? Now what? And guess what? She don't want to follow the Bible. That's the key thing. But you do. Now what do you got? You got some little Hebrew Christian babies. One got a Hebrew name and the other one got a Christian name. Right? You see what I'm saying? It's really this confusion. But that's the problem. It's like, you got to take the time to see where the person's at. Take the time to see, like, is this person going to follow this? If they don't want to follow this, then what the hell are you dealing with them for? But how can you know if they're going to follow that if you don't give them the time to go through the steps, go through their battles to see? And when I say follow this, I'm talking about, and following the scriptures, I'm talking about, are they going to apply the wisdom? If you're dealing with somebody, you're dealing with a sister, if you're a brother dealing with a sister, and you might like her, y'all talk, y'all do y'all thing on the phone, blah, 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 and you see she's making the wrong moves, and you say, well, you should do this, this, and this, and she's like, yeah, I hear you, it does the opposite. That's red flag number one. That, okay, she's not listening to wisdom. Why would you just go be with that person? If she ain't listening to this wisdom that's going to make her life better, why would you even go be with that person? Why, like, can two walk together, at least they be in agreement? It don't make sense, right? Yeah, but brothers and sisters do it. That's the thing. Did you finish Romans? Read that.
Romans chapter 12 verse 2, last precept. An acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
Go to 1 Thessalonians 5:21. No. Not 5:21, is it? Oh, yeah. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 21. Read that.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21.
Go ahead.
Prove all things.
We do what?
Prove all things.
Yeah, all things got to be proven. All things have to be proven. Man, woman, child, doctrine, teachings, everything. It says prove all things. Go ahead.
Hold fast that which is good.
And hold fast to that which is good. Then you take the good and cast out the bad. But how are you going to know what's good if you don't prove something? If you don't prove it? Oh, you're a good person? Prove it. Oh, you know how to be a wife? Prove it. I'm going to make you do all the wife things. Oh, you a good husband? Prove it. You're going to do all the husband things. What do you think? Listen, y'all think that, I think that back in the day we just ran up on women and slept with them? And that was it? That's my wife now. No. We had betrothal periods. Listen, the scriptures say do all things decently and in order, right? We had order when it came to even our marriages. We had steps that we took. We had steps where a man would go to another man, right? A man would go to that woman's father. I like your wife. I want to be with her. Right?
You like his wife.
Oh, yes. No. Yeah, his daughter. It's a lot. A man would go to a man about his daughter. That's what I meant. Y'all know what I meant. Let me rewind. A man would go to another man about that man's daughter, asking for that daughter's hand in marriage. Not his wife. Salakia. He would go for the daughter. That's where you get the dowry of virgins. Right? He would go, this is what I'm going to do. She's now betrothed to that man. She might not even know it. She might not even know it. But then there was still a betrothal period. They got to know each other. And that could take some time. That don't mean they got, you're betrothed to that man, and the next day we got a ceremony. No, let's get y'all, even if y'all are not compatible, let's get y'all compatible. Because no matter what, we agreed on the law, right? We agreed in the Most High. What's up?
You know, I'm just playing advocate.
Yeah.
But like Isaac and Rebecca, even though we know the Most High had sent them,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like that was like, okay.
Yeah, that's an anomaly. That's an anomaly. You know, not saying it can't happen, but that was set up like that. Most High set that up. But this is how you know but think about it. What happened with Isaac and Rebecca afterwards? Did they like get together and then just fight their way through their whole relationship? Hell nah. She did what? Before he even slept with her, what did he do? What did she do when he was about to go meet her? She was like, humility. Off the top. So he was like, oh, okay. Deal with that. She's humble. That's one thing that you need if you're going to be a good wife, be a good husband. Right? She displayed humility. She didn't roll up like, yeah, nigga, what you want? Who you? With her ass hanging out in a thong? Or in some workout pants? Nah. She covered it, said she grabbed the veil and covered herself. Out of respect. But that's what I'm saying. Even if it happened back, you got to remember, we're not in that time where sisters were groomed, where a woman that came into your house was already a wife because of the way she was dealt with by her father and by her mother. These women they were grown to be wives. So that's why it was like, listen, I want your daughter. No man had to come and like teach his wife how to be a wife. We got to do that today. Because they're raised to be little pole hoppers, right? They're raised to run to every beef on the street. That's the thing. So now we got to reverse the whole process, but the reversal takes time. It takes communication. It takes more than a month, 2 weeks, a year. It takes a while. I've been with my rib. Oh God, I've known my rib for 17 years, and I'm still digging in her head and trying to change certain mind states on the way she thinks through the Spirit. Still, after 17 years. Because ain't nobody perfect. Is she getting better? Hell yeah. Even all of us. All of us. It's with all of us. We all changing daily. Something is changing us for the better, but it's through time. Y'all see that? So, we got to remember that. Yeah, back in that day, the women, even the men. Think about it. A man was a man at 12, a woman was a woman at 12. Ain't no damn women at 12 out here right now. They look like women because they're built, beefed up, hormoned up breasts and ass, but that's it. Their mind is gone. These little young 12-year-old dudes running through the streets acting like they know something. You don't know a damn thing. You could barely pull your pants up and wipe your ass good. But back in this day, look at David. Come on, man. David was a 12-year-old gangster. That dude was a man. He was a warrior. Y'all see that? His mind, but it was all through the customs of our upbringing. See, I'm going more into our custom. We had customs. We didn't just like, oh, let me see a chick in the streets and grab her up and that was it. Nah, because how would you do the damsel, the dowry of virgins? How would you do that if you didn't talk to her people? You have to. You have to go to her people and say, listen, this is what I want to do. These are my intentions. What do you think they get? Let me get your, in America, they say, let me get your blessings. Where can they get that from? You go to that father and say, listen, I want your daughter. He either say yeah or no. Either yes or no. And then you pay that man. It was as simple as that, but it took time. See, now it should take even more time because there's even more demons on us. There's even more negative rooted into us. Y'all understand that? Go to, did you finish Romans? Yeah, you did. You finished 1 Thessalonians? Go to 1 John 4, verse 1. Go to 1 John 4 and verse 1.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Why? Why would the Bible inform us to not believe every spirit? Because niggas be lying. Chicks be lying. Like, yeah, watch. Hold where you at. Hold where you at. Give me Proverbs 20 and verse 6. This is why the Bible says, believe not every spirit. Proverbs 20 and verse 6, and hold that 1 John.
Okay. Proverbs 20 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
Most men will proclaim every one his own goodness.
Yeah, everybody's going to proclaim their own goodness. Like, yeah, I'm a good wife. Yeah, I know how to do this. I know how to cook. I'm a good husband. I know how to raise my kids. I know how to, I study. I'm good. Every man is going to proclaim his own goodness. Right?
God.
Read on.
But a faithful man who can find.
Yeah, but guess what? Just because you can proclaim it don't mean you faithful. Now I got to prove that. I got to prove what you say. Oh, you a good wife? Let's see. Let me put you to the test let me put you to the test for a while to see if you're willing to submit to your husband. We're betrothed right now, right? We're in the betrothal stages. You want to be my wife? I want you to be my wife. And I want to be your husband. I want to be your friend. But guess what? We're going to have to just go through some things first. We're going to have to go through some stages to see where you at. What can you deal with? What do you deal with? We're going to have some conversations. Spirit, get up in your head. You're going to have to do what? You're going to have to let down your guard. See, in your situation, Jeremiah, you didn't let enough time build up to where that guard came down. Where it's like now we can talk about some real convo. We can talk about some deeper things. We can talk about my past. Listen, I tell you one thing. A person's past is the gateway to your whole relationship with them. Any man that's trying to deal with a woman, you get up in her past. You get up in that past life, you'll know what makes her tick. I guarantee it. You ask the right questions, and you start, and you ask the right questions, and you talk about the right things, you will find out what motivates a person to this day. It's the things that happened in their past, whether it be good or bad. If it was something negative, you'll see why these women running around like little sexual deviants. Why? Because they've been overly sexualized as children. They've been touched on and rubbed on, and the weird uncle in the corner, the crazy cousin in the basement, all that. Talk to these women. Talk to them. I'm telling you. I do it all the time. I'll pick out the most garbagely dressed chick in the mall. I'm like, okay, so what happened to you when you were a kid? Oh, well, my dad, I'm like, yeah. And you just take it out on the way you dress or the way you carry yourself. It's simple. It's just simple psychology. What you dealt with in the past, you know, and if there's no one there to show you the things you went through weren't your fault, you didn't have to go through them, you can do better after that. If there was no one there to show you that, then you just gonna be the little whore on the corner on this and that, running around getting banged by every guy. But see, and then when a brother comes, or when a man comes and wants to deal with you, you'll be able to hide all that. You'll be able to hide that life. You might put on a dress for a couple of weeks. You might talk with a certain tone in your voice, but deep down inside, you a hoe. Bottom line, because that man is not taking the time and giving that relationship time to blossom and figure out what's really going on with you. People hate that. When I look at that, I'm like, what's up with you? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, no, what's going on? And they're like, you can see that? I swear to God. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I know when there's something up, especially people that I deal with a lot. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Like, nothing. I'm like, you know you can talk to me, right? Oh, I'm good. And then they'll pull me to the side like, yeah, you know, I was dealing with this. And I'm like, they just didn't want to be on blast in front of everybody. I get it. And they be like, yeah, how could you tell? I'm like, I can just tell. I know what you deal with. Somebody have your hand up. That was shy. You had your hand up.
Yeah, it was. Just by like the dressing. I mean, you said that you could see how a woman dresses for as her being promiscuous or probably having something that happened to her.
Yeah.
In like probably childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you tell just by looking at a person that is fully dressed that they? I mean, some people don't carry themselves. I guess they don't take it out as them dressing promiscuous. They're people.
Not everyone.
That are covering themselves up.
Yeah, because they're doing the reverse. You got to remember, there's two sides to the spectrum. Think about it. Let's deal with a woman that's been sexually abused. Two things happen. Either she disregards every man in her life and says that every man is evil, or what does she do? She jumps on every man, right? And it's over. Everything is just to the extreme. So you gotta look at the extreme. And look at, okay, you dress like that, but why you dress like that? I ask questions. I be seeing chicks walking through the mall looking like they belong in class. I'm like, why you dress like that? They're like, oh, because da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, okay. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. You know, like, but that's the thing. It's about communication. Just going back, even dealing with, like, Jeremiah's situation, and just any brother that's in that situation when they move a little bit too fast, the walls of defense that our people have up, that women have to have up, especially nowadays, because niggas is just animals, little beast gremlins. They want to just use and abuse these women. They have to defend themselves. So, but it's up to you, as a man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to be able to say, well, let me find a way for her to lower those defenses. And her defenses ain't down because you got her drawers off. Oh, like she's good because no. That don't got nothing to do with it. Brothers think because she lowered her drawers that her defenses are down here. No. It's the total opposite. Because why? She's programmed to give up the butt and keep her mind on lock. So that way you think it's all good. Oh, that's my wife now. Yeah, but then she got all these problems that you ain't dealt with. And you won't be able to deal with because she got the vault locked. Listen, I don't know what y'all think, but these chicks, these dudes and these women out here in this world will have sex with you before they do anything. That's just like the easy thing now to have sex. That don't come with nothing. You could go walk in the mall and be like, you want to have sex? Hold up a sign. Want to have sex? And you'll get some takers. I guarantee you, if you're that type of man, you'll have sex that night in the mall parking lot. I've seen it. Because that's nothing. It's really about pulling these drawers off. The ones that are on the brain. But see, a brother that's not thinking right, he ain't trying to do that. Because he's not thinking, like, what am I doing to affect this person? How is my actions right now going to affect this person? All you're really doing is just adding on to what she's been dealing with. Y'all understand that? Where you at?
We was at Proverbs 20 and 6.
Jump back to 1 John.
1 John chapter 4 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Yeah, that's why you can't believe every spirit, because everybody's going to proclaim their own good. Everybody's going to be, yeah, I'm good, I'm a good wife, I'm the bad, I'm the good husband, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, prove it. But the scriptures say, believe not every spirit. Read.
But try the spirit.
But, there it goes again. But do what?
Try the spirit.
Yeah, prove the spirit. Read.
Whether they are of God.
Yeah, because, listen, if you in here, everything you're supposed to be dealing with is supposed to be God. You're supposed to be trying everything according to the spirit of the Most High. I always say this, man, that, and I mean, we know this, that the Most High sends us everything. Sends us everything that we need. And he might even send a little extra. But it's up to you to see if you need that extra. What is that extra thing going to do? Is it going to distract you, deter you? What you got going on where that just appeared to you? So whether it be a woman, I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Whether it be some homeboy that you want to kick it, that wants to kick it. What are they there for? What is your battle? Because you got the brothers that battle the weed smoke, and then all of a sudden, all the weed smokers want to come kick it. You got the brothers that deal with the lust. All of a sudden, every big booty chick want to be at the cart. And it's like, well, yeah, that's there for a reason. Prepare thy soul for temptation.
It's funny you had said that, because, like, since she had been away, right?
Yeah.
A lot of my female cousins been popping over their sons and stuff. And they normally come, like, with a dress.
Looking for stepdaddies.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I seen that spirit last night. Like, you can, I can't speak for everybody, but
yeah,
you can see when that spirit is, like, literally, like, trying to tempt you or whatever. And I had one today and one, saying last night. When they come in, they come out with provocative clothes on and everything. And then they see them trying to turn away. Then they'll come, like, still be trying to, like, you know, like, just stand, like, where you can see them.
Yeah.
Right then, I'm just thinking, like, look at this.
Because the spirit knows what's going on in your house.
This black widow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I call them black widows because
they just want to eat you up,
right,
devour you, suck you dry.
They can kill the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. But you know why? But it should be showing you that everything is spiritual. You ever be in a relationship and then you get single and everybody want to get with you? It's like, but damn. Or you've been single and you get in a relationship and everybody want to get with you.
You joking.
Yeah, I messed that up, right? That's what I meant. Why? Because the spirit knows what's going on with you. Yeah, you get married, all of a sudden everybody want to be your friend. It's like, the hell y'all come from? I was just single a day ago. Ain't nobody hit you up the whole time. You was begging for friends. Now all of a sudden you got your wife. You got all the little chicks hitting you up on Instagram. Hey, we should hang out sometime. Like, what? I've been single for a whole year. Where y'all come from? Why? Because it's spirit. It's spiritual. It's testing you. Where are you at? What are you going to do? You going to run to that? You going to build your wife? You going to build what you got? Or you going to run over here? See, that's another mistake brothers make. They don't build what they have to the point where they just don't build the things they have. It's like, I just got a new car. I'm tired of it. Want another new car. You didn't even break in the first car. You didn't even take care of the first car. You didn't even vacuum and wash the first car. Why should you even get a second car? You ain't taking care of what you have. Brothers got to have that mentality, a husbandman. You don't plant one tree and then plant another and neglect the first tree. No, you take care of the whole garden. You take care of everything. You don't clean one window because you got 3 windows. You neglect the other 3 and just deal with one. No. You got to deal with everything equally. But see, a young man, brothers that don't understand, sisters, they just be moving a certain way, man, just too fast. Finish where you at.
Okay. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, second precept. Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Right. Jump to Ecclesiastes. So after you prove Ecclesiastes 26 and 19. So you prove your little friends. Let's say you prove this woman that you're trying to be with. You prove this husband that you're trying to get to marry you. You prove them, right? They go to the proving ground. Now what?
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound.
Go ahead.
And give not thy strength to strangers.
Wait. Do what?
And give not thy strength to strangers.
Wait. So I'm supposed to just give everything to a stranger I just met her 2 weeks?
And give not thy strength to strangers.
But we've been dating for like a month.
And give not thy strength to strangers.
It's right here. You ain't supposed to just give your strength up to a stranger. Because guess what? A month, they're still a stranger. 2 months, that's still a stranger. To me it is. That's the way I look at it. I'm very my circle has always been very small. Very, very small. Like to the point where I wouldn't give people rides. Like there were certain people I wouldn't give rides because I knew what they were into. I'm like, you ain't riding in my car. We get bumped up, you ain't gonna get me locked up. I wouldn't let certain people in my house. And that's when I was, obviously I wasn't here. But even in the world, I had a mentality of like, look, you ain't gonna just be in my house any old type of way, or just I'm gonna be driving you around in my car any old type of way. Hell nah. I had a very small circle. Very small. But why? Because the people that were around me, they weren't of the same mind. They weren't of the same judgment. They weren't godly people. You see that? So I had to keep it small to keep safe. I'll do that at least. The bigger that circle, the more gaps. So I had to keep it small. Read on.
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
How do you know if the possession is fruitful?
I had to.
Well, this is the thing. It says it's a fruitful possession, so how would you know if it was fruitful? You got to have proved it. You got to, listen, read on, watch.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field.
Right, how you know if that field is fruitful? You gotta go measure it. Right? You test that soil to make sure that soil can grow things. Where's my closest water source? Think about it. You think they just throw a farm anywhere? Like, yeah, this is good ground. We're gonna go build on the mountains of China. We're gonna go build in the Andes. No, we're gonna go farm in the Andes mountains. No, it's unfarmable. A lot of China. If you go to China, they got a lot of rice fields, right? They can't grow nothing else there but rice. It's just swamp. You think they're gonna say, oh well, we can grow rice. Let's grow everything else here? No, it wouldn't work. They had to test that ground. They were like, well, it's a fruitful possession for certain things, but not all. We only grow grass here. But if we go down the block, we might be able to spring up something else. We can raise chickens if we go down the other way, but if we put chickens right here, they'll all drown. You see what I'm saying? It's no different than a person where you say, well, they got some good attributes, but as far as a wife, she ain't ready yet. She ain't there yet. As far as a husband, he ain't there yet. Let him keep learning. Oh, before I say this is my bestie of my besties, let me see where they at. Well, when I was going through this, and this, they disappeared. So that can't be what a best friend is. But they do have some good qualities. So I'm going to have them in where they're supposed to be. I'm going to put them in their zone. The friend zone. Think about that. But I'm going to put them in their zone. They're going to be in this zone. This is where I know you're good, So this is what I'm gonna keep you. It's better for both of us, because why? If I try to bring you into this zone without you understanding what needs to happen, we're gonna mess up. We're gonna last 6 months. I remember, man, how many people ever went through a relationship in 6 months and it felt like years? You ever did that?
You know what's funny though, right?
Oh my God.
Like, sometimes I used to pray to the Most High, because sometimes I used to think I was cursed, because, and I don't mean this in a bad sense, because I'm just like the prophet Jeremiah. You know, he forbidden to marry. That just happened to be my name. You know, your name means something. But I've never had a relationship that went past a year. Like, serious, like, even like when I was in the world, I mean, I could be doing all the right things, everything, but the Most High would always show me something, and I would always give him credit for that too. Like, even when I was in the world, like, you know, people put that facade up, that front, like you were saying, they'll hide everything in the beginning.
Right.
And that's why I had stopped giving so much of myself to people, or telling them right off the muscle, because I'm like, I want them to learn me like I'm trying to learn them. Because when you tell somebody too much, then they know what you like, so they put that front on. And then as time go on, that real face starts showing, and then they start doing everything that they did to, you know, to attract you and get you. And then when you start pointing at it or saying something about it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing where it's not about, you know, I always, I never put a time frame. You know, you got people that say like, oh, they meet a person and it's like, I'm in love with this person like after a day or two. Like, to me, that's just like weird. You can't be in love with a person like in a day, because they didn't show you all of them. But that's why it's important, because all it really is you're just looking for the balance of a person. You're looking for their balance. Again, Proverbs 20:6, every man will proclaim his own good. Because what they're going to do is come unbalanced. It's up to you to balance them. Anybody that comes to me, I balance them out. I'm like, okay, listen, bruh, or sis, I hear you, but what about this? And this and this and this. I come with the balance. Now they got to adjust and say, well, yeah, no, maybe so. That's what it's about. It's about balancing a person out, really and truly. Because I know this about me. I come unbalanced to certain people. You have to. You got to be one way with certain people. You can't have a balance with everybody, because not everybody needs to know everything about you. That's one. Again, prove a friend. Everybody got to know everything about me in the damn mall. They barely know my damn name. I've been in that mall how long? All they know is Q. They don't even know my damn name, right? Because they don't need to know. But if we're dealing on a different level where if they in here, man or woman, it doesn't matter. We in here, then it's now the level has gone up. The level, you see what I'm saying? Like, you never catch somebody in the mall in my house. Why? Got no dealings. Man or woman. There's no reason. Unless it's, and if it's something business-wise, you can meet me right here at the school. I need to be at my house. If there's something I need from the mall, I can go get it. Meet me at the mall. You see, that's me. That's my unbalance. Because everyone doesn't need to be in your circle that quickly. Prove a friend. You want to see what I'm about? Come here. I don't need to teach you on the side. I don't need to do none of that crap. You come right to the school, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Saturdays if you're available. That's just where I'm at with it. It's better for everybody. Where we at?
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field,
right?
Sow it with thine own seed.
Right. So the thing is, it's telling you when you got a fruitful possession, but how do you know you have that? You had to have dealt with it for a while, with this possession for a while. You can just get it and say, oh yeah, it's fruitful. Let me just plant my seed. Let me just plant my seed in it. Now I got twins a month after we've been dealing. Read.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
You know what that's talking about, right? It's talking about a man and a woman. It ain't talking about no damn field. Y'all know that, right? Okay. I'm just making sure y'all with me. Trying to keep it a little PG, because I, you know. Yeah, because 21 tells you. But the point that I'm trying to make is, how do you know it's a fruitful possession? How do you know this possession ain't some barren, ran down wasteland that you're trying to embed seed into? How do you know?
You look at where they came from, their kids.
All that. But guess what? If they got the hedges up, the high, tall bushes that's blocking the land and you can't see it, all you see is the beautiful hedges. And they might have some roses in the hedges. And you're like, damn, that's a nice, got some nice hedges round about it. Blocking off the land, but then the land itself is just dried up. You can't grow a damn thing. It don't get no water, right? The soil is just, it ain't even soil, it's just sand. So nothing ain't gonna grow there. It's just sand and rocks. You gotta bring in your own topsoil. You gotta bring in your own, like, come on. It's useless, but how would you know that? You gotta peel back them bushes. You gotta peel back them bushes and do what? You gotta do some house cleaning. You gotta get up in a person's mind. Y'all understand that? But see, it takes a certain level of know-how, commitment, and you can't be lazy. You can't be lazy-minded. And unfortunately, a lot of brothers are, a lot of sisters are. They're lazy when it comes to dealing with people. They think that people, like, they think that, especially coming from out there, they're just going to come in perfect. Hell nah. Think about how many demons you came in with. And think about how many more demons are in this world and how long they've been out there. You got to think about what they're going to come in with. They're going to come in sparkly and shiny. Nice teeth, hair, everything, clothes looking good. But guess what? Up in here, they're destroyed. It's up for you to fix that, not just help to perpetuate the destruction by doing to them what was already done in the world. Use them, abuse them. Nah. Where we at?
Verse 21.
Go ahead.
So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified.
Yeah, showing us that, yeah, this is talking about a man, woman, babies. Right? No man should want to put his seed into pollution, into bad ground, I mean, think about it. Because like I said, you're going to end up with twins. One going to have a Hebrew name, and one going to have an Italian name. Or whatever name that she want to name it. One going to be eating pork, and the other going to be eating turkey. One going to celebrate Christmas, and the other going to be celebrating Hanukkah. It's like, damn. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? It's confusion. That's what we got to learn how to avoid, is the confusion. From there, go to Amos 3. Go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. If you got something, you can come right in. And this is the whole purpose of proving a person. The whole purpose that you prove a person is this right here. Read.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
And I'm going to show y'all something. Because y'all like, man, prove a person like that. How long do I got to wait? How long does it take to prove a person? Watch this. Read.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Right, so we know that the Most High is speaking to Israel, right? Yasha'Allah.
Right.
Read.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Now check this out. We're going to go back to a little Genesis real quick. We know that we got the wisdom in the 5,000th year, 6,000th year. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that and then reread verse 2.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
So think about that. So the Most High gave us the wisdom after that long. And then, what happened? All these 400 years in Egypt, right? Then took us out of Egypt. And then what did we do for 40 years?
Still was hard.
But the Most High was doing what throughout the whole wilderness? What was he doing?
Proving us.
Think about that. What's going on right now?
Proving us.
And we what? Thousands of years? I mean, come on. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. The Most High has been proving us this whole time. Yes, it was at one point he did find us worthy, but then we made ourselves unworthy. Then he has to reprove us. Like, let me see if these niggas are going to get it. That's why he said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Now, read verse 3.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Right. How am I going to walk with you if we don't agree? Guess what? I've been proving you this whole time, so we're going to see. Can we walk together? But you can't figure that out in a month, a week, 2 weeks, 3 months over the phone. It's like you said, Jeremiah, you don't really know a person until you live with them, right? And that's the damn truth. Because now I get to see you when you wake up, stinky breath, no makeup, right? I see if you take a shower before you go to bed. I see what you do when you wake up, if you even brush your teeth. I see all these things. I get to see it, though, firsthand. I get to see how you maneuver in the morning. If you're a morning person, if you're a night person. I get to see all these different nuances about you that I wouldn't see if I didn't live with you. Right? But see, even then, let me ask y'all a question. I just want to see if I'm the only one thinking this. Isn't it possible for a man to live with a woman and not sleep with them?
Lie.
It's not impossible, right?
No.
Yeah. But how come we don't practice more of that? That's abstinence, really. How come we don't practice more of that? Of we can live together, but let's not sleep together for at least 6 months after we've been living together to see if it's gonna work. Go ahead.
We'll make a statement on that. With the abstinence part, with living with somebody, to me, that comes with like just a good relationship between you two. Because I done had some where sometimes that was the only time we would get along. Then I had one that was like a best friend to me. It's funny that we not together now. Junior's mom.
Yeah.
And but we could talk to each other about whatever. But I would understand, or she would understand, or sometimes you just wouldn't even be thinking about that because you be so much enjoying that company.
Yeah.
Companionship. You don't even be worried about that, but one that just nag, you be like, okay, let me give it some, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's all they be wanting. They'll say that. I just started fighting just to, you know what I'm saying? But then you got the one who really there for you, like, they'll talk with you, you can talk with her. And then time will go by, you ain't even worried about it.
No, that's real. That's real. But you know why it's hard for a man and a woman to live together and feel like they gotta sleep and feel like they don't have to sleep together? Because the basis of the relationship is not spiritual. And I'm not saying it's not spiritual at all, but it's more carnal than spirit. See, and I'm saying this for the people that go through these relationships and they run through a 30-year relationship in 6 months. There are some people out there like that. You have a whole 30 years worth of relationship in 6 months. Why? Because either you're too much of one thing and not enough of the other, where we're always together. I wake up, you're there. I go to sleep, you're there. I go to work, you're there. I go home, you're there. So in 6 months, that was 30 years of relationship. You're like, God damn, it's like I've been with you forever. Or the opposite. You're never around. You're never around. You're never around. You're never around. But I'm saying it because there has to be some spiritual more than carnal. There has to be more spiritual than carnal in your relationship. Because then what does that enable you to do? You can say, okay, well, listen, I've known you for like 6 months, 8 months. We've been talking. Let's move to the next step. Let's move in together. Whatever. That don't mean you gotta sleep with that person. That don't mean you gotta make that person your wife. You can be like, let's live together for 6 months to see. Let's get a 6-month lease. Let's see how we do. And then what we're gonna do to make sure that we don't do anything, we're gonna go on a fast. We're gonna say we're gonna fast. We're gonna do a vow, 6-month vow to the Most High. You in there? And then you just gotta follow. Now it's all about. But then you gotta listen. And I know it sounds like the hell is he talking about? Well, you know why you gotta go to this extreme with Israel? Because niggas will meet a woman on the first night and bang her that night and be like, look, see, you're my wife now. See, Deuteronomy 22. See, sisters do it too. I know there's sisters on Facebook. I've heard it. Sisters go find a man in the club, the biggest muscles and the longest dreads, and be like, see, the Bible says you're my husband. He's like, what the hell are you talking about, husband? The hell? Husband? He was a jump off. You ain't no husband. I ain't your husband. I met you this tonight. Right? Or you got brothers, Malak, I've been teaching her for 2 weeks. So? She got 2 weeks. She don't even know that she's an Israelite. She don't even know what you believe in. You've been teaching. So you know why you got to go to that? While I'm going to this extreme, it sounds funny, but it got to be done. It got to be a level of discipline in brothers and sisters to say, let me not turn this into something that it don't got to be. Let me not jump into this genitals first, and then all of a sudden in a month, the relationship is ruined. I got a bad name. She's a whore. I'm a whore monger. She looking at me like I ain't nothing. Oh, by the way, she's pregnant with triplets, right? Now I got to deal with that for 18 years, right? Or, oh, the best one, well, you only knew her for a couple of months, a month or two. She was walking around with some type of weird disease. Now you got that. Now what? Now what? Well, oh, you got a rib? Slept with your rib? Gave your rib the weird disease? Now what? What? All because there was no wisdom applied to the situation. All because a man didn't step back and think and say, damn, okay, what should I do here? The scriptures say a wise man foreseeth the evil. So it's all about, you shouldn't even let yourself be put in a compromising position with a person. If you know you got a weakness, you shouldn't put yourself in a compromising position. Y'all understand that? But there's things you can lay down. Let's say you followed it to the T, and there is no rule. Listen, and this is just rules that we lay down to ensure that the spirit, that the standard spiritually is upheld in the school, right? And if they did this more in the world, there would be more morality in the world, where we say, listen, 6-month rule to a year rule. I mean, if a brother or sister really followed the rule of the school, you wouldn't get with a person for like 2 to 3 years. By that time, it's like, you better know if you really want to deal with them or not. But it'd be 2 to 3 years before you really got with a person. Which is still not enough time. Because you still like, they still coming around, Yahweh Shemala Thunin, like floating on clouds, like ain't nothing wrong with them. When you know there's something wrong with them, brothers are still, Shalom, all powerful. It's like, all right, what's going on with you? Nothing. Nothing, I'm good. Right? All bright-eyed trying to hide the demons after 2 years. Because it takes time for all that to come out. Because there might not be no adversity that you have to go through at that time. The adversity is what pulls it out of a person. When times get hard, them demons start getting restless. They start backflipping in a person's spirit. They're like, get out. I want to get out. And all about them starts to come out. But see, you got to allow yourself a chance for it to happen. You got to allow yourself a chance to get to know a person. Where are we at in the scriptures? Where are we at?
Is that Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 21, the end of 21.
Ecclesiastes 20. Okay, go to, so yeah. Oh no, back to what I was saying though about the fast. If there's more spirituality in the relationships, if we looked at relationships as more spiritual and not just, I'm getting a nut off, then you'd be able to do things like, well, guess what? We're going to talk for a year, and then we'll move in for 6 months. We're going to go on a sex fast. Nothing. That way we ensure that while we're living together, we ain't just dipping into each other. Right? We're getting to know each other while we live together, because that's important too. You can do it. It can be done. It can be done. We ain't that weak. Some of us might be. But it can be done. If you both agree on it and you just keep your head in the scriptures, that's 6 months of next thing you know, you be like, well, we're compatible or we're not. And you could go from there. But at least you didn't take the step of committing to the point where this is my wife now. Now I got to go through all the torment of a wife leaving or breaking up. Think about how much chaos it is when you break up with a woman and you know that's your wife. The chaos that comes with that. Listen, the detriment. Watch. Go to, because there's things that can be avoided, man. That's just the bottom line. We got to avoid some of this filth. Ecclesiastes 13. Go to Ecclesiastes 13 real quick. And 15. I'm going to get to my point, but just to show you, just to give you guys these scriptures. Ecclesiastes 13 and verse 15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 13 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Every beast loveth his like.
Right, just like Amos 3 and 3. Can two walk together, at least they be in agreement. Every beast loves his like. So if you're a whoremonger, you're going to be attracted to the whores. If you're a whore, you're going to be getting that dude that just wants to whore you out. Go ahead.
And every man loveth his neighbor.
Go ahead.
All flesh consorted according to kind.
Yeah, all flesh. If you're a spiritual person, you're going to attract the spiritual. If you're a fleshly, carnal man, you're going to attract that fleshly, carnal woman. Go ahead.
And a man will cleave to his like.
You're going to cleave to what you like. That's why it's easy to make these mistakes. If that's where if your head is in the carnal clouds, then guess what? You're going to cleave to what you like. Because whatever comes to you, you're going to jump right on it. Go ahead.
What fellowship had the wolf with the lamb?
Yeah. What fellowship do they have? Except for one is prey and one is the predator. They can't walk together because one is being chased. Go ahead.
So the sinner with the godly.
Yeah, what does the sinner have to do with the godly? Not a damn thing. The only thing you should be doing with a sinner, if you're the godly man, is teaching. Man or woman, child, you should be teaching them. And giving them a chance to learn to come up out of their sin. That's what they have together. But anything else is uncivilized. Anything else goes right into Amos 3 and 3. Can two walk together, least they be in agreement? No, they can't. That was a question. They can't walk together. There is no agreement. So now you just, if it's a man dealing with a woman and vice versa, or even friends, now you just creating chaos in your house. Because now you taking in these ungodly people to do what with? You didn't prove them. You didn't see where they were at. You didn't see how ungodly they were. There's levels to that. There's levels to it. There's levels to wickedness, man. Some people are just like off, and then some people are blatantly just wicked deceivers. What manner of person are you dealing with, or trying to bring in, or consorting with? You see that? But you only know if you take that time to figure them out. Anybody, listen, I watch enough TV. You ever hear of a grifter? You know what anybody know what a grifter is? A grifter is a person that can assume the role of anything they want. So all they got to do is find out about the situation, and they can grift or graft themselves into the situation and just become a part of it instantly. They're just good actors, but they know a lot about it. They know a lot about everything, right? So they graft themselves in. People do that. People do that. The scriptures talk about it. Brothers crept in unawares, right? To spy our liberties. You got to be aware of that. You got to be like, what the hell are you here for? What are you here for? To disrupt? To create chaos? Or are you here to add and build? Time reveals it, though. Because it's not us. Are we like, did we ever say, Jeremiah, what you here for? Oh, we don't like that answer. All right, get out. We were like, can you come to class? And the Spirit reveals. Sam, what you here for? We don't like your answer. All right, get out. Nah. We let time. Time and time and time. And time reveals what a man is here for. Or what a man is going to be when he's here. Y'all understand that? Time. Not, I don't like the way, he's too dark. You got to go. Oh, his head is too shiny, man. Nah. Time. We're like, man, brothers need time. The same way we give brothers time, you got to give women time. Relationships need time to develop. They need time. But if you just 2 months, 2 weeks, a month, 6 days in, like, no, that's not enough time for, you didn't develop anything. There's no communication there. The fences are still up. You didn't get a chance to learn the ins and outs of a person. Listen, I know my rip in and out. Like, I can rip through her head in seconds. And I can look at her and be like, yeah, what's going on? Uh-huh. And she can't lie. She used to try to. She used to try to do it. Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. But now it's just been too much time with us. Where it's like, come on, man, what's up? And then she'd be like, well, and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever's going on. Even with me, it's funny because she does it to me. She's like, babe, what's wrong? And I'm like, I know I can't say nothing because I'd be lying. So I'm just like, man, just thinking about this, thinking about that. But she's able to look at a facial expression and know that there's something on my mind. I could walk in the house and just by the way she walks, I could be like, okay, what's up with you? I don't gotta look at her face. Just by the way she's walking through the house, I'm like, man, what's going on? Her tone, all these things, but it took me time to learn. It took me time to learn it. And that's what we all have to realize, that it takes time to learn people, one another, even us in here. We're all, let's be real. We're all fairly new faces to one another. How long you been here, Jeremiah? Almost a year?
Yeah, it'd be a year.
Christian. About, 6 months, 8 months?
Since June, July.
Yeah, something like that. 6, yeah. Say, what, about a year? That's new. We all new to each other. We're all new to each other, like, believe it or not. We're still, even with each other, we're still in that cordial honeymoon. Shalom, brother. Shalom, sis. Like, we're, me and him is a little different. We've been together a little bit longer. But it's time. And that's what we got to understand, that time is the key. Go to Luke 16 and 18. See, when you give yourself that time, this is what you can avoid. And this is what I was talking about, where you make a person, when you don't follow these little bit of steps, and this is just light, you become the whore and the whoremonger, the adulterer, the adulteress. These are the implications that can happen if you don't take your time. Luke 16 and verse 18.
Luke chapter 16, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Whosoever putteth away his wife and marrieth another committeth adultery.
Go to 16 and 18. Where we at? Oh, okay. Yeah, read that.
Verse 18. Whosoever putteth away his wife
Go ahead.
and marrieth another committeth adultery.
Right. Obviously, if you're putting her away for an unjust cause, right? But this is the kicker. Because you caused the adultery because you did something, you putting her away for the wrong reason. But check this out. Go ahead.
And whosoever marrieth her that is put away from her husband committeth adultery.
You see that? So now the person that you done put away, and this is what happens, this is the thing, this is what happens in these new relationships. You get with a person, basically when you divorce or split and you're no longer dealing with this person, she's technically put away. But what is the human instinct? Oh, you go find me another husband. Oh, you go find me another rib. Right? Why? Because nobody don't want to be alone. It's understandable, nobody don't want to be alone. But there's ways to avoid that. See, if the proper steps were taken to ensure that your relationship would stand the test of time, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Y'all understand that? But that's what it's about. The proper steps can't be taken in a month, 2 months, 6 months. No. You can't be like, well, she came to a couple of classes and just happened. Just happened, brother. Nah, it didn't just happen. You're supposed to set things up to where things just don't happen. You're supposed to set things up to make sure that you're looking at the prosperity and future of your relationship. Not like, oh, it just happened and then now we're together and then we moved in 2 weeks later and then all we do is argue and fight. We don't get along. All she does is leave. She don't listen to me. Going back to earlier discussion. She don't listen to me, but she listens to everybody else. She don't ask me no questions, but she'll ask all the other questions. I gotta hear things from my house from somebody else, but she don't tell me. Why? Because there were certain things that weren't established through the Spirit in your relationship. Like, wives, submit yourselves to your own husband. God, Christ, man, woman, child. Keep quiet in the church if that's the case. See, these are the things that have to be established through that household communication, through taking the proper steps, coming to class, diligently. See, that's another problem where brothers do it, sisters do it too, but the scriptures talk about brothers. They show their wives an evil lesson against themselves. Where it's like, the do as I say, not as I do thing. Y'all know about that. Do as I say, not as I do. But it's like, how can you tell me to do what you say, but you're doing the thing that you're talking against? Do as I say, not as I do. Where it should be do as I say and do as I do. Because if I'm doing the right thing, I would want my wife to follow that example, or a husband to follow that example, right? But see, brothers teach an evil lesson against themselves to their wives. It's like, I got a brand new wife. Y'all both should still be in class, learning. But guess what? Got this to do, got this to do, got that to do, got this to do. Now what you doing? You pulling her away from the strength of the Spirit. You're not pulling her away from asking questions to me or any brother up here. You pulling her away from what she needs. Because some of the things that everything that we hit in class, like when we build these classes, man, y'all think that it be things that go on through the body. So when we got these classes coming up and these classes built, we're like, well, this was affecting this household and this household. The scriptures say that spirits jump like frogs when you read in Revelation. So we know that if we don't knock that frog out the air, he gonna jump from one lily pad, one house, to the next, and everybody gonna have demons. So what do? We nip it right in the bud. And that's what brothers and sisters gotta realize. When there's class is for the body. It ain't just for men. It ain't for women to shut the hell up and sit there. There's a reason why Paul said for women to keep silence in the church. Because they were talking and doing things out of turn. It wasn't that they were just in there talking and asking questions. No, they were doing things out of their power, usurping authority, talking and busybody and tattletaling. It goes through all that in that chapter. That's why you got to read that chapter in its context. That chapter is powerful. That's in Timothy, but you have to read it in context because he goes through what's going on in the church, all the negatives that was going on with the women, where they were, and they do it. That's why they do it in today's church. What do? They gossip. Everybody knows that gossiping comes from the damn church. The damn church women go, they sit up next to each other with the big hats and talk crap about everybody in the church. Look at her. Look at her. My grandma used to do it. I'm like, damn, this woman just talks about everybody. She was the most holiest woman ever, but gossips about everybody. I'm like, then when I learned the Bible, I'm like, damn, she was off. Because the scriptures talk about gossiping and being a busybody and tattletaling and talebearing. She did all that. She did all that. I'm like, damn, but you went to church. See, but that's what that was about. When we do class, man, brothers and sisters gotta really see the best. Listen, like when my rib got out here, we've been out here almost 3 years. I didn't give a damn. I was like, you take class to class. I didn't care what was going on. I didn't care. She didn't miss class unless she was at work. I didn't care. There was no excuse. There's still no excuse. She don't miss class when she's at work. Because she needs it. Not because I'm teaching it. I don't care who's teaching. I don't give a damn who's teaching. As long as I know that spirit is going to hit whatever's going on in her head to fix it, show up. Show up to every class you can show up to. Sisters class, kids class, all that. Whatever she can show up to that's going to increase her spiritually, she got to be there whether I'm there or not. She can ask whatever question she wants. I don't care. Because me personally, I don't got nothing to hide. I don't do nothing in my house where it's like, don't ask that because they're going to find out. Like, nah, I don't do nothing like that, you know, so she's free. Sometimes I even tell her, go ask that in class. I don't know the answer, and I'm like, no, ask that in class. You know why? Because there might be somebody else sitting in class too scared to ask. I want her to build up participation in class. I want to show her that it's not wrong for her to talk in class and ask questions. Because once you tell a person, no, only ask me, then they're like, damn, I can't talk to nobody. Now all of a sudden it's like, shalom. You just look it down, and it just, you gotta see we're trying to build a family and a nation here. We're not building robots and listen, you gotta look up the word submit. The word submit don't mean that you gotta bow to the ground and walk with your eyes on the pavement and hold my pockets like we in jail. That's not what it means to be, for a woman to be submissive. See, we look at that word in a negative connotation. It's not a negative word. So y'all can't take it negative, and brothers can't be throwing it out there like, you gotta submit to me only. Nah, we gotta submit to Christ. Where we at? Where we at in the scriptures?
We had Luke 16, verse 18.
Right, so you see that, right? Where you cause this adultery because why? You didn't take the time to fortify your relationship. Now you're at odds. You break up. Now she's out there doing her thing with the next dude. You out there doing your thing with the next chick. But guess what? Adultery on both ends. Because it all should be able to be hashed out. But you can avoid the problems if you just took the time to get to learn a person. If you just took a little bit more time, instead of being so carnal and giving into the flesh so quickly, just take that time to say, listen, let me get to know you better. Let me figure you out. Go to 1 Timothy 1 and 5.
1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Give me a comment, y'all got it? All right. 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart.
Go ahead.
And of a good conscience and of faith unfeigned.
See that? So the conscience got to be clear, man. In everything that we do, we got to have a good conscience in it. If you're doing things, you like, damn, I don't know. If it hits you like, oh, I don't know, I don't think I should be doing this. Don't do it. Go ahead.
Verse 6. From which some having swerved have turned aside unto vain jangling.
Yeah, you turn away from that clear conscience. You turn away from that sound faith. Now you're in that vain jangling. Everything's just vanity, lust. Right? Go ahead.
Desiring to be teachers of the law.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm a teacher now, but you ain't doing the things correctly to be a teacher. You're not upholding the standards. Go ahead.
Understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm.
Yeah, and it shows a lack of understanding. When you don't know how to deal with people the correct way, it shows a lack of understanding through the law. You got to give everybody their fair due, their fair time. Especially in this truth, man, you got to give people the time to learn. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. They've been so used and abused out in the world that it'd be so unfair to just force a person into this life. Let the Most High force them. But you can't be the one to force them. Let the Most High force them a different way. But you can't be the hand that pushes them in the way you deal. Because the way we deal is what it's about. It's the way you deal with a person, the things you put into a person's head. You can't be that person where it's like, I'm going to fast forward everything and not take the time to build, to grow. It don't work out like that. Go ahead, read.
Nor whereof they affirm.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully.
Right. Listen, we know there's laws on marriage, right? There's laws on marriage. They're only good if a man does it lawfully. The laws of marriage are only good if a man uses them the right way. You know, the law says what? Man sleep with a woman as his wife. Right? Does that mean that I go out and sleep with every chick I encounter? Just because the law said it out? Hell no. The law is only good if I use it lawfully. It's unlawful to just be running around with every chick because the Bible says so. I'm going to sleep with this one. I taught her for like a month. I'm a hit her. Oh, 6 months, I'm in there. Yeah, her. Because now, when you do it, listen, you do that once, twice, you start to justify like, yeah, well, I'm teaching them. But are you? Well, yeah, she's going to be my wife. But is she? Is she? How can she be your wife when you didn't even instill in her what a wife was? Because nobody else did it. The world didn't tell her what a wife was. That's why she got like eight dudes before you, a kid, 2 kids, right? Baby daddies can't be found. Obviously, somebody didn't tell her the way things should have been. That's why she's here. But if we're not showing the way things should be and taking the proper precautions and doing things the right way, we ain't no different than them out there in the world. Y'all get that? Where we at?
Verse 9.
Read verse 9.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
Go ahead.
But for the lawless and disobedient.
Yeah, the lawless and disobedient are the ones that are going to come in here and try to learn. Not somebody that got all their crap together, got all their ducks in a row. No. Again, he that is whole needeth not a physician. We got to remember that. So if the person that's lawless and disobedient is coming in here, what should they be coming in here for? What is it? Anybody can answer. What is it? To be healed. Not that sexual healing, right? I ain't talking about that healing. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about the spirit. We're not, because this is the problem. If that's what it just turns out to be, then what? They ain't gonna last. The relationship won't last. And then what did you just do? We read it back in Luke. You just created an adulterous situation. Because then it's easy to be like, well, the scripture says if she go not the way you would have her, then cut her off from thy flesh. It does say that, right? Yeah, but how can she go the way, how the hell can she go any which way when you didn't teach her which way to go? You didn't show her what was up or down, left or right. And even when you did, you didn't give her enough time to adopt the principles. You can show anybody in the Bible, like, yeah, the Bible says this. The Bible says that. The Bible, jump here, and then go to Isaiah, and then jump over to Revelations. And then let's go back to Deuteronomy, and then we're going to go to Genesis real quick. And then we're going to go here in the Apocrypha. And then look, we got the Josephus. And look, we got Bible Dictionary, right? We got all these books, sister, right? Got all these books. Trying to sound thirsty. Like, you know, listen, got all these books, sis. Got all this, right? This is yours. It's your nationality, it's your history, it's all that. So, what does that mean if they ain't doing it? But then it's like, you got that? I know I only gave you like 6 hours. You got it? Here, take the whole book, eat it up. 6 hours later, you my wife. Like, it doesn't make sense to y'all? People do it. Sisters be doing it, brothers be doing it. They don't take their time. Listen, again, and I'm not laughing I'm just laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing not at individuals, obviously. I'm not laughing at anybody. I'm just laughing because the thought that I know a person after this short amount of time, or why now am I upset and I didn't give my situation time to blossom? Like, you ain't got no room to be mad. You got no room to be upset, angry, mad. You should be laughing too with me. Like, damn, I messed that up. Jeez. You should just be happy you escaped with no kids and didn't get burned up. No baggage, right? The only baggage you got really is not spiritual. You got this spiritual baggage where that's up to you and the Most High. You got to deal with that through the Spirit, right? But you didn't get like the kid, now you stuck for 18 years, child support. Come on, man. I don't wish that on nobody. Or you caught like the clap, and you got to be in the clinic, pills for 7 days, however they do it these days. I don't know. But however they do that, what do they give you now? Just one shot? I don't know how they do that. Oh, I mean, nobody in here should know. I don't know how they do that. I don't want to know. I don't want y'all to know. You see what I'm saying? This is what it's I'm trying to help y'all avoid. No, you online. I don't want y'all to have to know how it is to go hit the clinic. Hey, listen, I was a young man once. You know, I was 16 once. I did things, man. You know, I don't want y'all to have to go through those things. When I was a child, I spake as a child. When I was a man, I put away childish things. That's what we got to remember, that it's childish as hell to think that a person got it in such little. Think about how long it taken you to still get it. Think about it. 3-4 years, you still trying to come into who you are. How does a person get it in 6 months? Or 2 weeks? Or a month? Or 3? They don't. So all you doing is just collecting bodies. That's it. You collecting bodies. And it's not good. The world tells you, yeah, notch on your bedpost. That's another notch. Another notch on my belt. Right? And they're all it's like a proud thing. Like, I slept with like 1,000 chicks. Okay, be proud. But now you got to deal with all that spiritual baggage that comes behind that. You got to deal with the Most High on that. Where we at?
Verse 9.
Go ahead.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners.
Go ahead.
For unholy and profane.
Go ahead.
For murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers.
Read.
For whoremongers.
For what?
For whoremongers.
Think about it. They put a whoremonger in the same sentence, in the same category of killers, right? You a killer, a manslayer, murderers of mothers and fathers. Think about that. It says for whoremongers. Go ahead.
For them that defile themselves with mankind.
Think about it. It's right up in there with just homosexuals. You defiling yourself with mankind. Go ahead.
For men stealers.
Right? You a kidnapper. Go ahead.
For liars. For perjured persons.
Whoremonger. Somebody look up that definition. It's real. Brothers don't think that whoremongering spirit is real, and it's real because it's easy to use the law to your advantage. But if you're not using the law, like the scriptures say, if you're not using the law righteously, then the law don't even apply to your situation. Somebody look up the word whoremonger. Who got it?
A person who has dealings with prostitutes.
Right.
Especially a sexually promiscuous man.
A what?
A sexually promiscuous man.
Go ahead. That's it?
That was
Watch this. I'm going to give you this one. It says whoremongers. It says I'm going to spell it out. Liber, libertinial, or a libertarian. Right? So I looked up whoremonger, and I had to look up this word libertarian or libertinial. A person, especially a man, who behaves without moral principles or a sense of responsibility, especially in sexual matters. That's a whoremonger. When you don't deal responsibly in sexual matters. There's no morality there with you. I mean, I want to see what y'all think. I mean, because I can say it 50,000 times. Acting sexually immorally, what does that mean? What do y'all think? Allison?
Acting sexual.
Yeah, like sexual immortality, when you, or being irresponsible sexually. What does that mean?
Not safe sex.
Oh, what? Whoa, you just hit it right on the head. Go ahead.
Not safe sex.
Go ahead. What else?
You're just hopping around from one, you're not getting yourself checked, or, you're hopping around from one person to another, and you don't care, you don't think twice about it.
Yeah. That's the thing. When you're acting irresponsibly sexually, you're not protecting yourself. And listen, again, we know what the Bible says. Sleep with a woman that's your wife. Does that mean you're going to sleep with everything? That's because now you acting, you're like a big ass sexual kid. You're just irresponsible sexually. You're not supposed, that's the thing. It's not about like, well, the Bible says it, so now I just got to go do it. I'm going to show you why. Go to Corinthians. Go to Corinthians 6. No.
Verse 7.
1 Corinthians. Somebody get 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. Somebody else get 1 Corinthians 10 and 23.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Somebody do 10 and 23 first. And then we'll go to 6 and 12.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
All things are lawful for me.
Yeah. Listen. All things under the law are lawful. That's what Paul was saying. All things that are lawful are lawful. So I can eat all the meat I want as long as it ain't pork. Right? I can drink as long as I ain't getting drunk. All things are lawful. Go ahead.
But all things are not expedient.
Yeah, I can sleep with this chick and this chick because the law says that, and I can claim them as wives. But is that the right way of doing things? And that's what brothers do. You got Israelites that do that. Like, well, listen, scriptures say that if I take hold of a woman in the field and lay with her, she's my wife. Okay, calm. You're right. She is. But did you teach her how to act as a wife? Are you acting as a husband? Did you inform her that as a wife she's supposed to be doing No. Now you know why she's not acting like a wife. Now you know why she dips off every other day. Now you know why she's just tail spinning in her brain because you didn't teach. You didn't teach her. See, in the law, it was telling you, it didn't tell you like, yeah, teach her and do all this and do all that. Because back then, her daddy was doing that in the house. Her mom was doing that. So when you got a wife, it was already assembled. Now you getting your rib is like IKEA. You got to put her together. Same thing with the men. This is the same thing with the damn men, though. They got to be put together. They got to be assembled in the mind. The mind got to be broken down and then rebuilt. It's like IKEA, man. It comes in a box. The only thing that's missing is the little box and the packaging. But you got to be like, okay, damn, there's the arms, legs, the head on, straight. Make sure I put the brain in there, and then some wisdom inside the brain. Go ahead, sister. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you got to do. They don't tell you that in Deuteronomy. It just tells you if you label them, that's your wife. But brothers forget the part where it's like, dwell with them according to wisdom, teach your wife, do this, do that, example, teach, example. Brothers forget that part. So it's like, well, the law says, all things are lawful but expedient. Go ahead.
All things are lawful for me.
Right?
But all things edify not.
Yeah. All things ain't going to edify. All things aren't necessary. It ain't necessary because a chick likes you that you sleep with her. It ain't necessary. Plenty of women that like me. I ain't sleeping with them. But I let them like me. Or be cool with me, whatever the hell it is. Because it's not expedient. It don't edify. At least not at this time. What is there to be had from it but chaos and confusion? What is there to be had from it? Especially if they're not trying to deal with this. That's the point. Give me 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. Oh, did you finish? Oh, 6 and 12, yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12.
There goes Paul saying the same thing. I wonder why. Go ahead. Because niggas was using the law. Like, yeah, the law says, the law says, the law says, the law says. But Paul was coming back and showing like, yeah, we know the law says. But this is the more understanding. Go ahead.
All things are lawful unto me.
Go ahead.
But all things are not expedient.
Yeah, you don't got to do everything because you can. We know what the scriptures say. The scriptures say we're kings and priests. Does that mean you run up to the nearest Capitol building and just start slaying everybody? I'm your king now. No. You got to give it time. Right? Go ahead.
All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
And that's the problem. Brothers get brought under the power of the things that are lawful. How you get brought under the... They let the things that are lawful disrupt them. You got to see it. It's lawful to drink, right? But guess what? Too much of it, now you outside the law. Scriptures talk about multiplying women, multiplying horses, multiplying gold, right? After a while, it's like if a brother got like 8 cars, it's like, bro, why you need 8 cars? That's getting a little selfish now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you need 8, and then he just hoarding up. Like, I got 8 cars, brother. Like, nobody can touch them. Nobody can look at them. Nobody can drive them. It's like, well, what you need 8 of them for? See if you got 2, 3, but 8. That's a little, and then you got 2, 3 and you letting brothers use them, and that's something different. You got 8 cars for what? What's going on here? Something's going on in here. Is it unlawful to have 8 cars? No. But see, then it starts to build something. These discords and stigmas. Read where you at.
Verse 13. Meats for the belly.
That's it. That's it. I think most men can't do it. Oh, bitch. Other Muslims. Oh, I think she was commenting on something earlier, 9:21. Where we at? We at Corinthians, right? Good. Yeah, 10:05. I'm about to I got like one more scripture. But y'all understand that, right? 1. Let me get this last one, Ecclesiastes 23 and verse 16. And you know, the problem, this is the thing though. I'm gonna say this. You know why it's hard for brothers to, and some sisters to take their time in a relationship? Because they got that whoremongering spirit on them. Where it's like, I ain't gonna take my time. I'm gonna deal with a person until they don't want to deal no more, and I'm gonna just and then on to the next. Your thought should never be on to the next. Not as an Israelite. Not when it comes to spirits and other people. When it comes to cars, con. When it comes to houses and all that crap, hell yeah, on to the next. That one crashed, let me get another one. That one broke, let me get another one. That house, the lease is over, it was 2 months, I'm gonna go get another one. That house was too small, go on to the next. How many times we done moved and got cars in the last year? I mean, damn. Because all we say is on to the next. But when it comes to women and brothers, it shouldn't be like, oh, well, the nigga's off on to the next. Well, she's my rib. Next. 5 minutes, she's not, on to the next. No. But there's something there spiritually in a person that's thinking like that when it comes to people. It shouldn't be on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. It should be, damn, okay, how do I make sure that the next one is it? And then I'm with that. How do I make sure that my next rib, that shouldn't even be a thing, my next rib. If you can't even hold on to the first rib, my next rib is my rib forever. And not just my next rib. Or my next husband is my husband forever, like the law says, and not just the next man I'm with for the next 6 months. How do I make sure of these things? Yeah.
Make a statement. Really, you can't, because every time I've been there. I'm just talking me personally. I can't talk nobody else. But that was my thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but when things happen, like, nobody knows what's gonna happen from day to day.
Right.
So we just get up, put that bitch for forward. You hear me? So it's like you taking what's there. And when you know the reason I'm not really like just about it is because I know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? When you know like you're doing like the best you could for something, and not saying like you say it's where it seems right to a man, but I'm saying like, you know, I was trying to do by what this said the most high. You know what I'm saying? Like, there been times I can honestly say like me myself was like, man, F this. But I was like, what he say, you know what I'm saying, man, love everybody, love it, you know what I'm saying, love himself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, shit, I ain't gonna do myself like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you keep trying different things. So you never know what's gonna happen sometimes. Like everything gonna be just on you.
I'm gonna say this, Jeremiah. Your mistake was time. You can not. This is the thing, and the reason why I keep pointing it out, because that, for one, that's a lot of brothers' mistakes. You didn't give it enough time, and I get it. I definitely understand what you're saying. Where, and I'm gonna show you. It's like this. Throughout all you did, right? All the teaching, the counseling, the being there. You know what it didn't make up for? The time. There was no way to make up for that. So, are you in the wrong? Or were both of y'all in the wrong? Yeah, because of the time. Am I saying that you're wrong in the way in your dealings in your household? I'm not saying that. I'm not dealing on that. I'm dealing with where if you don't invest the right amount of time before everything is serious, there's almost nothing you can do to reverse that process, because now it's like we're already here. So either and since there wasn't enough time taken to figure out, once we get to a certain point in our relationship, where are we gonna go? Are we gonna do this? Or are we gonna come together more? Are we gonna come together under the wisdom? You see what I'm saying? So time, it's almost like there's almost damn near nothing you can do if you didn't put that time in and build your friendship and take the steps to where it's like, now I'm trying to play catch up. Let me do all these things. Let me make sure that we class at the house, this, that. I'm gonna try to cram all this spirit into this gap, but now it's at the point where it's like the other person don't want the spirit. They're like, I'm blocking that, right? But why? Because if you'd have let time reveal that, then you wouldn't even have to go through all that. That's all I'm saying. It's not like, oh, what this brother's doing or this. It's really about taking the time. Because once you don't do that, it's almost like it don't matter what you do. And now it got to be the Most High putting on this person's spirit to humble down, to listen, to be there, to want to be there, to want to be around, to actually sit back and say, damn, okay, we didn't take the time. Let's redo things in a certain aspect. You see what I'm saying? Like you and your rib. Can you guys fix whatever's going on? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got listen, I'd be like, look, we're going to take 1 year to not deal with each other sexually or anybody else, obviously, and we just going to take time. 1 year. I'm going to commit myself to you. You're going to commit to me. We're going to vow. We're going to take a year to get to know each other. What we're going to do, we're going to do 6 months out the house and then 6 months in the house and see where we at. If we ain't there, then we don't do nothing. That's how I would do that. Hey, can you take that? Damn. Tell her to yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's all about time, baby. It's hard to reverse the things that we don't let time handle. That's the thing, because we try to force it, but it don't work like that. Where we at?
Ecclesiastes, chapter 23, verse 16. Two sorts of men multiply sin.
Go ahead.
And the third will bring wrath.
Go ahead.
A hot mind is a burning fire. It will never be quenched till it be consumed. A fornicator. Read back that last precept.
Yeah.
A hot mind is a burning fire. It will never be quenched till it be consumed. A fornicator in the body of his flesh will never cease till he had kindled a fire.
Where we at? Where we at? I'm sorry.
Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 16.
23 verse 16. Okay. Read verse 16 one more time. I'm sorry.
Two sorts of men multiply sin.
Go ahead.
And the third will bring wrath.
Go ahead.
A hot mind is a burning fire.
Go ahead.
It will never be quenched till it be consumed.
Mm-hmm.
A fornicator in the body of his flesh will never cease till he had kindled a fire.
Yeah, see, this man that's just like, oh, I'm going to sleep with everything because she could be my potential rib or whatever the case may be. You ain't going to stop till you kindle that fire, till you get that itch or that burning sensation when you pee. Right, that's what's going to stop you. That's what it's talking about. Oh, the scriptures, listen, man, it's cold. But see, it sucks that it has to get there for brothers and sisters to learn, like, let me take my time. Let me make sure that when I get with this chick, let me go get her tested. Because she's coming from out in the world. Who knows what she's been doing? She might have said, oh, you know what they say, like if a chick says she's with one man, it's 5. Y'all ever heard that? Yeah, that's messed up. But it's true. She be like, yeah, I only had one boyfriend. So that means she had 8. Right? She had 8 and 1 baby daddy.
Actually, it's
15. 15. That's even worse. So what are the probability that she wasn't up in the clinic? Or that she needs to be in the clinic? Niggas is lazy. They be burning and itching like, yeah, that's just, it's just a rash. It's just my soap. It's just the soap I use. And then you got gonorrhea. Go get that checked out. But then guess what? You come along, hit it, sexually irresponsibly, right? And then next thing you know, you got gonorrhea. You done kindled a fire. And then you like, damn, how that happened to the Most High? You asked the Most High, how did that happen? Because you ain't listen. Because you didn't use wisdom. Because you didn't take the time to figure out what's going on with this sister. Let me take some time and get her tested out and checked out. And listen. Solomon and David did it, right? They got them women, they soaked them in frankincense and myrrh for months. Clean them out physically. Clean out their minds before they got with them. They had to, because they know they were coming in filthy. They wasn't just going to deal with anything. We're supposed to follow that same example. Read on. Read verse 17.
Verse 17.
Yep.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
Yeah. A whoremonger is going to try to tap everything. Everything looks good to him no matter what. Everything is like, well, she wants to hear about the Bible. I gave her a few scriptures. That doesn't mean you got to hit it. Just because she's in here, sitting here, don't mean you got to be with it right away. There's a reason why she's here, sitting here. She needs to learn. But all bread is sweet to a whoremonger. Go ahead.
He will not leave off till he dies.
Yeah, you ain't going to leave off till that little thing between your legs shrivels up and dries off. Go ahead. It's real.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
Uh-huh. That's really what you're doing. If you're whoremongering and just trying to, and you just sleeping with women and you're not at all like, this is not going to be your wife, then you're really breaking your wedlock because you're sleeping around. That's all you're doing. You can't be like, well, the Bible says I can have as many wives as I want, but all you're doing is sleeping with them. No, that's not a wife. That's a whore. Right. And you're a whoremonger. Bottom line. So that's why I said if a man break wedlock, because all this man is doing ain't the fact that he's getting another woman, it's the fact that he's just getting this woman just to have sex. He's just sleeping around. He ain't trying to make no other woman his wife. Go ahead.
I am compassed about with darkness.
Yep, who gonna see me? Yep, it just happened. Read.
The walls cover me.
Go ahead.
And nobody seeth me.
Go ahead.
What need I to fear?
Read.
The Most High will not remember my sin.
Go ahead.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
And not even that. Some brothers don't even care. It's sad. Read.
And knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
Go ahead.
Beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts.
Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspected not, he shall be taken.
You see that? That's the fate. So, in closing, we just got to be careful, man. We got to take that time to develop our relationships. Especially if you're trying to get with a wife, a husband. Take the time, man. Take the time to prove this person. A wife, if you talking about you trying to get you a wife or she's wife material, that means she shouldn't be wife material for like 6 months or a year or 6 years. You should be building it to where it's like, well, damn, we've been together for 30-something years and we still going strong. Listen, I got an aunt and uncle that just had a 35-year anniversary. Yeah, day before yesterday. 35 years. I'm 36. They've been together my whole life. I've never not seen them together. I couldn't even imagine it. Like if I got that phone call like they divorced, I'll be like, hell nah. Well, why? They develop things. Even people in the world know you got to develop a relationship and build it and nurture it before you can actually move things on progressively in steps before you just commit to something. So we definitely got to be careful of that. Y'all got that? Any questions? Anything online? We'll hold it till Friday. Y'all got questions in here? Bob? All right, well, definitely do thank y'all for joining us. We will see y'all back here on Friday. Alright? So with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Let's do this. Somebody get you right. You good? Yeah, we're going to pray real quick. I can give you one. Gotta go that way. We all gotta go that way. Rise, face the east. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. Dawadi Yahweh. Dawadi Yahushua. For your love. For your grace. For your mercy. That you bestow on us. Daily.